Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters. But tonight, you might know our guest, who's as big as Bigfoot. He might be a big TikTok influencer, but he might have just had his biggest breakout moment to date. Because for those that have watched XCW's latest show, Breakout, which everybody's been talking about here in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit here over the past few hours, and what we saw when, well, our guest here tonight had his breakout moment because he is the brand new XCW New Age Champion. I've got something for him in a little while for that. I've also got a few things to say with our guest about this little company he also works for called ROEW. And boy, he's a BYW member, and I'm kind of wondering what is going on between ROEW owner James Taylor, the Nemesis James Taylor, and, well, his compadre in BYW, the now ROEW Midwestern Champion, former owner, the Cyclone Jason Storm. Plus, what's going to happen tomorrow between this match that I think everybody seems to be talking about, not just in the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit, but the entire internet, between these two guys that have traveled apparently, named Jack Delta, the outsider, and the headline Aaron Blaze. I'm going to ask him his thoughts on that match. Plus, I'm going to ask him about this little event that Big Man Cam was a part of, because apparently he didn't live too far away, called Summer Bash, which had over a dozen companies in the backyard, the underground wrestling circuit. Plus, it actually had a representative for my company, the Promo Wrestling Federation, who was there, who was a clown. I'm going to get his thoughts on that, plus maybe some other big men, and maybe I'll even talk about another championship he holds. Oh, how about that CBW World Championship? Boy, they don't call him a double champ for nothing. Who knows? Maybe in a week or two, it'll be a triple champ, a quadruple champ, and maybe he'll be the backyard in the underground wrestling versions, Kenny Omega. But you know what? Since we are, after all, in prime time, and even though our guest has been here before, since he is, after all, as big as Bigfoot, and I don't want to certainly have his foot up my face, especially I don't want to turn into hamburger meat like Jay Ellis did after what we saw at Breakout. And most importantly, I wouldn't want to turn into some of those guys at Summer Bash last week that tried to mess with this big man here who's a big TikTok influencer, and now he's a double champion. But since we are, after all, in prime time, it's time to give him that big breakout championship, double championship like introduction that the world has been waiting for, I've been waiting for, and most importantly, he's been waiting for. So let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen here. So with without further ado, here on the Sports Report. Number one, global sports show from the BYW group and ROEW. He's as big as Bigfoot. He's a big TikTok influencer. He's a double champion. He's the reigning, defending CBW champion of the world. And he's the now new XCW New Age champion. Simply put, his name is Big Man Cam! The double champ is here!
What's up, Tom? How's it going? How's it going, everybody out there in the chat? How we doing?
Ask my voice when we're off the air. That's what I tell everybody at this point. But it's actually been a quieter week on Sportswire because I haven't done the usual 5-6 hour marathon shows. Although tomorrow's going to change that because I'm on the air a couple times. But Definitely, it's been a quieter week, but my voice has been, I'm still going through the ringer. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about you, Big Man Cam. And as I stated, you might be as big as Bigfoot. You might be this big TikTok influencer, but I think tonight, at XCW's latest show breakout on the road to SummerMania, now that we're 42 days away, I think that you had your big breakout moment yet to date, because you are the new XCW New Age champion. You defeated a man you obviously know very well in Jay Ellis. And for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, tell us what it meant to you today to win that XCW New Age Championship.
Oh, well, Tom, I do appreciate the question. I did just want to start off by saying I think you got the names mixed up a little bit. The event was called Backfire.
Oh, well, you broke out. Fair enough.
But it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me to, be able to hold 2 championships at one time. I had dreamt about that as a kid, actually, and this is kind of me kissing ass a little bit. But I used to.
We're live. Say what you want.
I'd hold them up, and now these are titles that I've actually won that I'm holding up like that. And it's really cool. It's definitely an honor, and I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity to go out there and work with Jay a couple times now, actually. And it's been fun every time. He's smooth to work with. The first match we ever had, I had heartburn really bad.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry.
I forgot to take my meds, and then I go out there right when we're starting, and I'm like, God damn, dude, I got heartburn. It's all the way up in here.
What do you take for heartburn? Tums, Pepto-Bismol, Rolaids? I mean, what do you do?
I'm on prescription.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Forget that I even asked. But boy, you having heartburn would be different than any other person, because you are, after all, I mean, you're like taller than 2 Rob Slaters. So, I mean, you having a heartburn would certainly be different than even Rob Slater. But,
that's studio.
Well, before I put the match up here on the screen, is it extra special and you defeated somebody in Jay Ellis, a guy that's, been really established? Obviously, he is a guy that's done a lot of things in CBW, XCW. He's been a guy that's been around the block, and he's been, an established star for quite a while. Does it make it, let's say, that more monumental on who you defeated to win the title here today at Backfire?
Oh, yeah, I definitely say so. Beating somebody with, a really good track record, actually.
Absolutely. Very good career. Very solid career.
So it's very monumental to me, and I definitely appreciate both times. And I'll continue saying I appreciate both times, because I truly do. And I definitely had fun. I felt like I had a great time.
Well, you should have. You're a double champion. And, I want to ask you this question before I put the matchup on this, because I know a lot of people want to talk to you. I think like double the amount of people want to talk to you since the last time. Because maybe it's because you're a double champion. Maybe it's because we're in prime time, or officially in the peak of prime time on Sportswire. I think maybe that's a thing or two with it. But do you ever go back and say where you were, let's say, I don't know, 4 months ago or 5 months ago, and say, I was there and here I am today. I'm the CBW World Champion, no small feat. And I'm the XCW New Age Champion. And, you think about who's held the New Age title in XCW. I mean, it's a long list of some great talents. I mean, past and present. You think about Jack Delta and ROEW. He held the New Age title. I mean, a guy you were at Summer Bash with, Anthony Steele, held the New Age title. Jay Ellis, certainly. We had Julian Void Jacobs, who was here. He held the New Age title. I mean, it's a lot of guys in XCW that have held that championship. And do you ever kind of say, you know what, right now, after tonight, I know it's only been a few short hours, but do you look back now where you were and where you are today and kind of think about it?
Sometimes it's definitely kind of crazy, because just in January, I was like, I think I should just start traveling underground, because I didn't realize there was a whole community behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Last summer, actually, when I was running ALW, I had reached out to several promotions, and to no response. And the only reason I've gotten in contact with people was because of Jason Storm. He was the only one that responded to me.
Well, if you would have messaged me, I think I would have connected you to about like 50 of these companies. I
I
think
at the time I was
I was like, all you have to do is message me. I mean, I'm pretty much, I'm like the biggest open book there is. I mean, I guess I'm the Madonna of open books. I mean, I don't know. I just,
I
truth
just
or dare almost.
I had no references for underground. All I knew were pros, and no pro was going to book me unless I went back to school and got a clearance from a trainer, which I still don't have. I have like a year and a half of training total, but I have no clearance from any professional trainer.
Well, you got my support, so I'm sure that'll go a long way because I pretty much know most of the people here that are out there. And I want to get to the match in a second. But, when you look back and now that you have to represent these two companies, CBW and XCW, we've talked about when you were here last time about being the CBW champion, because who could forget you defeated Jacob Collins, and I'm sure spend time on him later on. But but seriously, now that you represent two companies and two companies that obviously have a very important history to it, I mean, what does that now do for you? What is the pressure now being a double champion versus when you were just the CBW world champion? Talk about that a little bit for the audience.
With every championship you receive or you earn, I'm sorry, with every championship you earn, you have to be able to back up the reasoning that you are that champion. Uh, which, in my opinion, believes you need to represent yourself in a destructive yet humble manner. Uh, Basically, you have to hold that. You have to hold that attitude that you know you are the best because you are holding the championship, but you also have to be humble and remember where you came from. And I try and mix those two together. I try and be as helpful as I can, uh, especially with newer guys. I try to, especially when they're not understanding something with safety or how to do a move properly. There's certain moves that I can and can't do properly, but that's okay. Uh, Everybody has those moves. Uh, my buddy, uh, my buddy Gavin was just telling me the other day that some wrestlers, uh, you'd be surprised what moves they can't do. For example, William Regal, he's one of the best technical workers of all time.
Absolutely. Listen, William Regal is a guy right now that's basically running NXT alongside Shawn Michaels. He's the guy that's all these talents you see coming up. He's helping mold them. I mean, Eric Bischoff did a whole podcast on William Regal. Absolutely.
Yeah, he cannot do an arm drag. He can't give or take an arm drag, and his move that he can't do. And if you look back at any of his matches, he cannot give or he's never given or taken an arm drag. And it's just crazy to me that I know it's kind of off topic, but it's kind of
no. Listen, you're a big man, Cam. You're like 6'17", so I don't think anybody's going to really have a problem with you going off topic, sir.
But I felt correlated a little bit, especially with representation and all that, because I don't know how to put it. As long as you're representing the companies well when you're in a championship position, I don't think nothing else really matters too much.
Well, I think you've also been given the responsibility to represent those companies, CBW and XCW. We're about to put the match here live, and we're going to see it, even though it took place. And again, it's XCW Backfire. See, I kept thinking I kept wanting to call you the Breakout Star because I was that was my thing when I did the video today. Because I was like, I woke up late today, and I was like, let me do the video because you messaged me. Then I went back to sleep, and I forgot to do the video. Then for whatever reason, I kept having Breakout in my mind. But yes, I knew it was Backfire because, well, speaking of somebody in the chat here, Justin Parsley, well, I don't think the real ones really are having any breakouts. They're more or less it kind of all backfire their situation, but I'll get to them later on. But, obviously, I think that there's no question that you've been chosen to represent those companies, and they have a trust in you and they have a faith in you that they know that you can be somebody that can do a great job in holding those titles. And we're about to see the match here itself. And what I got to ask you this question before I put comments here, because I was watching this match and I was watching the show toward the end of the show. I think it was the Parsley, Slater, and the Outliers match. And what was with the sirens going on there? What were those sirens going off? I think even the commentators mentioned. Can you tell me what in the world was somebody trying to arrest Justin Parsley and Rob Slater for something they did at Summer Bash? Was there something going on? But after what we saw at Remy Ravage and ACT, no, seriously. I mean, that's what I'd like to know. Was somebody coming after somebody there? With the whole EBW situation just got people all worked up? I don't know what, but what was with those sirens?
The best answer I can give you is that somebody decided to have an emergency while that match was going on. It wasn't with us.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, did somebody like have to do a number 2 and they didn't realize the bathroom was somebody was in the bathroom? Is that what it was?
It's probably something like that. I don't know, but they decided to have an emergency during the match. That's all I really got.
Well, it was bizarre. It was definitely rather bizarre, and I have to ask you before we get to see you come out. I mean, what did you make of this whole situation with Corey Lee and Jay Ellis? You had a segment with Jay Ellis prior to this, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes before the match, and they've kind of have this weird, I don't even know what you want to call it at this point. I mean, what did you make of that? You were told to leave basically in a not so friendly way from Corey Lee, and I was surprised you didn't respond with your fist in his face, but you kind of left and just I guess moved on. But we saw Corey Lee come out, and obviously he's had a lot of success with Eric Mason. But what did you make of all that?
It doesn't faze me. Corey Lee, there's a reason he's not champion. I was more focused on Jay Ellis at that point. He was not worth the time or the energy before I had a championship match. If I would have dropped my focus right then and there and had my words or fisticuffs with Corey Lee, I wouldn't have went out there and defeated Jay Ellis. I can tell you that right now. Because when my focus is off, I'm off. That's why my focus is always on point. It's got to stay on point.
Well, I can't imagine you not being on focus, considering how big you are and considering all the things you can do. But we are watching the match here at XCW Backfire. And obviously, as I still say, he had his breakout moment here today. But we are watching it here. And Steve-O is the referee. And how do you like Steve as the ref, by the way?
I love Steve. Steve's awesome.
I do, too. I do love Steve. I think he's become a better referee than a commentator. Oh boy, shots were fired just now. No. Actually, he was a very good commentator, but I think I seem to like him as a referee. But I'm curious. We're watching the match here with Jay Ellis, and what kind of competitor is Jay Ellis, and what does he bring to the table versus different opponents that you've had in XCW so far?
One of the biggest things about Jay Ellis, he is very strong. When you look at our size differential, you'll think, yeah, Jay Ellis, he's going to get crushed stepping in the ring with me. He is one of the strongest guys I've been in there with. Like,
really? So stronger than Jacob Collins, then?
Legitimately. Yeah. Very. Very. I could barely feel Jacob Collins' punches. Definitely feel Jay Ellis's.
Well, we'll see. I mean, yeah, Jay is definitely, I guess, because of your size advantage, he's deceptively strong. But in XCW, Jay is obviously one of those bigger power guys before you came in, maybe alongside an Eric Mason or a Tommy the Man Merriman or, a Brady Branson, those power guys. But he certainly brings that to the table. Does that change? We're watching the match here a little bit, and obviously you guys are kind of going back at it more of almost like a slugfest right now. Did that change your strategy, knowing the kind of guy that Jay is versus maybe some of those other opponents you've had so far?
I definitely had to change up my strategy with him. The first time we were in the ring together, I knew he was strong, but this time he had a whole different beast in him. I think it was because his title was on the line this time. So I definitely had to change some stuff up. I'm not going to say what.
You shouldn't, because we're live. You do know there's like 70 plus people watching you right now live. So I would say good idea.
Can't spill my big man Cam secrets.
Follow him on TikTok though and Cameo. Yeah. But if you want to follow XCW, there's a whole bunch of links here. We'll put the XCW YouTube page. Yeah, but how about that? What you were able to do there? I watched it the first time, and I'm watching it live here with you. And I mean, you got to have some power there to still lift up Jay Ellis. I mean, he's a big guy, and you just suplexed him like it was like a bag of potatoes almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, big guys are strong. You know how it is. But I definitely tried to attempt it again, but he was not letting me have it this time.
Well, he tried to give you some type of small cradle package, and that kind of didn't work. Which is, I don't know if that's the first time anybody's tried that on you, but maybe it'll be the last. I don't know.
The high school wrestling kicked in. That's
Well,
a move that I was put in a lot in high school.
well, that was high school. This is then. We're in XCW. This is Explosive Championship Wrestling, and this is a rather explosive match. And after I watched that spot, I mean, certainly Jay Ellis is kind of one of those high energy guys, and I have to ask you something, and I'm sure this is going to be let's just say an omen for things to come in a little while, wink and a nod. Did it feel extra special to be able to defeat Jay Ellis, knowing that he's a member of this little group called the Foundation?
Yeah, 100%. The first guy they've sent after me. Was just now starting to connect these puzzle pieces together when I was at Summer Bash. It's crazy.
It must have felt good then. Felt very good for you that the first one, they always say 4 up and 4 down, but I guess for you, it's going to be 1 up and 7 down? Or if it's Jay's in the group, does it mean it's 1 up and 8 down? Or maybe that's what you could obviously, start working on a list, right? Like Chris Jericho had the list. Remember when he had the list?
All that matters is that one's down.
Well, it's going to be 1 up and a whole bunch down to go. And you were able to do that here, but
it talks, man. I love GP, but it's just GP. He just GP. Like, he's something else.
Well, we're seeing here, and obviously he sort of got something. It was almost, he tried to get you down, and he kind of did, but it didn't have the effect I think he was hoping for. And he's got to be really kicking himself, because when I watched it, and I could certainly see Steve-O's reaction, it was 2 9/10.
So here's my thing. This is where my respect for Jay Ellis comes in. Nobody I have ever worked with in my whole time of wrestling has picked me up over their shoulders. Jay Ellis is the only one to date that has ever picked me up. I've never been picked up in the ring before, and he was able to do that. So my respect for him is way up here.
Well, he's actually way down there now.
I love that whole touch on the way down.
Well, he's definitely way down there, and you look like now you're taking the straps off, and you're about to go top dollar on him, to quote one of your friends. But yeah, you're definitely getting angry here, and definitely this would be like when you see Jacob Collins back in the ring sometime. But boy, Jay Ellis is definitely not going to be singing that music he has. Definitely, definitely seeing there. But you're going a little back and forth with him. But I think the first time it didn't work, but the second time it doesn't work again for him. So I think at this point he should probably just say, if it ain't broke, just don't fix it, and just maybe quit now while you're ahead, because you're going to fix it anyway for him.
Oh yeah, he was not getting up there. He did not want a big ending.
No, I think that for him that would be his, well, not so happy ending, but it was your happy ending, and congratulations there. And obviously a well-earned physical victory. It was a slugfest to say the least, and you get the title, and you look at it, and you stop and tell me what you think right now as you get the 2 titles, the CBW World title and the XCW New Age title, and you put them up. Tell me what you're thinking here in this moment.
Come on. Okay, are we back?
Now we're here. Yes, I know your Wi-Fi is a little wanky, but so I had asked you, tell me what you're thinking when you grabbed both titles and you look at Eric Mason right now and you hold the titles.
I got a little bit of an ego boost. I'm not gonna lie. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa don't have a title, but I have 2.
There's a lot of people in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit that don't have any titles either. And I mean, obviously, you're a very smart man by getting out of here, because you certainly dodged what's going on between Ellis and Lee, and who knows what happens there. But congratulations again.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I wouldn't say it was running away, though. I'd say it was, I proved my point, and I was just ready to get out of there. I didn't need to prove anything else. But I had my celebratory moment, and I wanted.
You definitely did so, and I want to obviously take this off the screen and go like this, and I want to let people go out and support XCW if they would. If you'd like to hit the sub button, watch the rest of the show, you can do that. I want to though take this off the screen before I get to comments because I did acknowledge Big Man Cam that I have something for you. Obviously, I know it's a monumental day in your career, being a double champion and everything that you've done now, and you've become in a few short months one of these guys that everybody's working on. Maybe you're the man that's going to all of a sudden top the foundation. Maybe you're the man that's all of a sudden one by one going to beat, because you already said one up and a whole bunch down, others to go. So I actually have something for you, Big Man Cam, tonight for the audience. And I hope that you would take this as a token of a sign of appreciation. Because after all, as I've stated, you might be as big as Bigfoot. You might be this big TikTok influencer. But I think today was your big breakout moment on Backfire. So let me give this to you, Mr. Big Man Cam, for the audience, for those that are listening and watching. And congratulations. I have put you now as the new age star of the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much.
I thought it'd be kind of clever, right? New age, or the new age star, the backyard, and the underground wrestling circuit, because everybody thinks, oh, I get something, and it's the same thing, but we actually have something that's a little different. You have my signature, my John Hancock, and I will give you this when we're off the air, and I'll definitely let the audience see this for another minute or two. And I also want to make sure, if you want to follow Big Man Cam, I got some links, ROEW links, XCW links below. Also CBW, YouTube, go check them out. Big Man Cam cameo. So if you want to get that, now that he's a double champion, this should be now where the cameo requests go up through the roof. Now that you're a double champ, because like you said, you correctly pointed out, Roman Reigns ain't a double champion. Cody ain't a double champion. Swerve Strickland ain't a double champion. So now that should mean the cameo requests go up. Maybe I'll have to request a cameo, because obviously now that you're a double champion, and we're so lucky to have you here in this platform, and obviously some merchandise, I'm going to take care of that for you in a little while to put that up on the screen. So those links are here, but let me get to some comments, because a lot of people want to talk to you tonight, and I have a long list of them. So let me come back to the beginning. Actually, this is way back to the beginning. Zilla's here, and Zilla says the usual things. So hello, Zilla. I hope that you're doing well. Obviously, this company, I'm sure you met for a little bit coming this past weekend in Summer Bash. I'll get to them, though. Don't you worry. I'll get to them. Want to get to a compadre, I suppose, of yours now in XCW, Mr. Justin Parsu. By the way, also has his own issues with the foundation. Big Man Cam is my favorite wrestler of all time, and I support him no matter what, if he's a babyface, and I respect him. Good evening, sleaze balls and sleaze ballless. Basically, he's just repeating Zilla's response, but I think basically you're acknowledging that Justin says hello to you. But this guy here, for whatever reason, has something to say to you. His name is Soldier GP. Sure, you've heard of him. He's the IMF World Champion. He's a popular monster. And he says, hurry up, boy. You had a lot to say about the foundation. You want me to save that after more comments?
You guys are after me, and I don't know why. You guys never told me why. And I'm frankly upset about it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Obviously, we'll certainly see. And I'll come back to that. Also, Soldier says that Parsley shut the hell up. Well, we'll leave that back. Want to say hello to one of my friends here, Chase Wakefield, the Bitcoin billionaire. Chase is all over the place, and he's actually wrestling in Uganda coming up here. He's actually wrestling in Uganda here in probably, about 4 or 5 months. So Chase is a good man. He's the Bitcoin billionaire, and he wants to say good evening, Cam. Big fan. Yes, we are big fans of Big Man Cam, and Chase Wakefield, I am a big fan of as well. Atomic Titan is here. My hardcore king, who I want to make sure I bow down to, says hello, Tom and Big Man Cam. How you doing? And Omen Black would like to say the boogeyman of the Midwest. Speaking of foundation, speaking of people who it is his show after all, this guy loves GP like how I love GP. So I don't know what the reference is there, but okay. Yes, he is our hardcore king. Hello to our friends in CBW, obviously Critical Backyard Wrestling, the company that you represent. And we had some stars there, I know, in CBW or at Extreme. King Scotty Matthews was there, and a lot of good things ahead in CBW, and we certainly appreciate them tuning in. Our friends in beautiful Alabama, I actually have coverage of the Alliance Wrestling League coming up here Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. AJ Morgan will be here. AJ Morgan's going to talk about Endgame. He's going to talk about what happened with his brother, Dylan Andrews, plus a heck of a lot of things. And AWL had a great show, and they've had a relationship with ROEW, a company you work for. So always good to see our friends in beautiful Alabama who had their best show yet. This person you probably know a little bit about, Mr. Darkron. He was the man that hosted Summer Bash. I'll definitely get to him. I'll get to him for sure.
What's up, Kron?
Atomic Titan says congratulations on the title win. Thank you, Mr. Titan. Good evening. How you doing, Darkron? Hope you're doing well. But for whatever reason, the Soldier GP wants to say you were 0-2 against camping chairs. I'm not impressed. Can you clarify what this is about camping chairs?
So, I'm so big, Tom, that I broke through 2 chairs while I was at Summer Bash.
Wow.
Whose they were, and I'm very sorry to whoever's chairs I broke. The first one, it made sense for it to break because it was waterlogged. It had been outside. So it was one of those where it was like it just couldn't support me anymore, and I fell through. The second one, however, I think it's just my weight and how big I am, and I was well over the weight limit. I was just sitting there, and then the side just gave out, and then I had to sit in a metal plastic chair, and I didn't break that one. So,
I have to ask this question. Does this happen to you often? Do you ever them? I just would have to ask that for the audience.
There's an ALW show where I chair at commentary because I fell through it.
Oh, well, I'm not going to bring that up because you're here right now and I don't want to go back into the tape. I'm sure I could find it. But so this has happened to you before?
Multiple times, yes.
Oh, well, you never know what you learn on Sportswire Radio. Big Man Cam might be as big as a TikTok influencer there is, and he's as big as Bigfoot, but he's actually broken chairs. Zilla with her usual comments. D'Angelo the Flame, I hear through the grapevine you met him also at Summer Bash, and he says hello. And obviously, one champ to another. You're a double champ. He's the Resurrection Wrestling Internet Champion. He's obviously got some big things ahead. You've done some big things, and he says hello. So that was rather friendly. That was nice of him to say hello.
What's up, bro?
Big Man Cam, congrats on the title win. You deserve it big time. I could not agree more with you on that. And now let's get to a heck of a lot more comments. A lot of people want to talk to you, a lot more than last time for whatever reason. Zilla, same thing about the foundation last week. So which is it? Who is Zilla? That's maybe the better question. Congrats on the title win. You deserve it and earn it. CBW, stay tuned for CBW Faded Dreams, where Big Man Cam is slated to take on Jay Ellis for the critical Backyard Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. But will Jay Ellis show up? I don't know. Only Jay Ellis could answer that question, correct?
Yeah. Not sure if he'll show up or not. I'd love for him to. But after that defeat, I don't know if he'd want to get back in the ring with me this soon.
So maybe you know what they should do? I have a simple solution. So here's the remedy to this. To quote the Black Crows, here's the remedy here. You could have an AI version of Jay Ellis. You could beat the AI version just like you beat him in XCW Backfire.
J.I. Ellis.
Pretty much, yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. That'll be kind of funny. I mean, if there's an AI Atomic Titan version, why not an AI Jay Ellis version? Could you imagine if there's an AI Big Man Cam version? I mean, could you imagine if there was an AI version of you? Not only would it break the internet, it'd probably break the world. I mean, forget about right now what's going on in the world. If there was an AI Big Man Cam version, forget about it, to quote New York.
Yeah, it would crash the internet.
No. You know what? I don't want the internet to crash, so I'm going to get to some more comments here. I want to say hello to Michael Blackheart. Michael was obviously a part of Extreme King. Hello, Rev. We ran into each other at XCW Extreme King, and congrats on the big win. He also said his first interaction was making fun of Jackson Law, who had his own problems today. By the way, Jackson Law had some serious problems today because he was getting quite a beating from, obviously, I think it was Milo Malice there, and he was certainly getting a beat down there in XCW. Big beating. Well, we'll see if he recovers. Obviously, he's no longer the EBW champion, but something tells me that Jackson Law will never be out of it because he certainly will get his uppings, and that's the way these things go. Howdy, Tom. Howdy, Big Man Cam. How you doing, Hillbilly Tilly, the general manager of the Alliance Wrestling? Had a very, very successful show. They're doing great. They've gained 50-something subscribers, I think, in the last week and a half, and it's going to keep going. And by the way, Zilla and this, we'll leave that at that. We'll leave that at that. Chase Wakefield says he loves Omen and GP, but what about Big Man Cam? Speaking of people that were there at Summer Bash, Drake Golddragon, who I heard through the grapevine wrestled this guy, probably heard of, named Moose, I heard not too long ago. Drake Golddragon. What an interesting fellow there. He says hello.
What's up?
Not too much, you right now. Want to say hello to another good friend of mine, who is the man that is the general manager of Resurrection Wrestling. He's also making a return to the ring, one more stop in the ring. That's Wicked J, aka Joseph Tibbs himself. And I want to give Joe a big shout out because I have some IWA Deep South Carnage Cup coverage coming up on July the 30th, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, and Jesse Daniels is going to be here. But tomorrow you got to be here. 9 o'clock Eastern time. Speaking of hardcore wrestlers, speaking of deathmatch stars, Jimmy Controversy live, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Be there or be square. So if you want to ask Jimmy about Pro Wrestling Venom, you want to ask him about UWF on Saturday, you want to ask him about anything and everything that you want to ask Jimmy Controversy, you better be here because Jimmy ain't going to be here very long. Jimmy is going to be here probably for like 60 to 75 minutes. I can tell you right now, knowing Jimmy and his schedule. So definitely get here. He's going to want to talk, obviously, his matchup coming Saturday at UWF. Pro Wrestling Venom stuff is on the way. Also, Carnage Cup will be a part of that, plus a lot of different things out there. So you might want to make sure this one you mark on your calendar. You guys are doing phenomenal work over there at the IMF, and I can't wait to head out there in the future. Hey, well, you know what? You never know. Listen, Chase Wakefield, the Bitcoin billionaire, on his way to the IMF, he might need some friends like Big Man Cam. Thank you, brother, and we can't wait for you to make an appearance. Let's say there was a parade outside. Oh, the sirens. There was a parade outside. That's what it was? That's wild. You guys, was there a parade because of XCW? You guys were doing so good in the St. Paul's gym, and they wanted to give you a ticker tape parade for being a double champion. Is that what it was?
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
How many people were there? A lot of people, Zilla. A lot of people were there at the show. Thank you for asking. How's it going, Big Man Cam from Craven Rage? Craven Rage is gonna be here. He's good. He's got, I know, a WCE show coming up. Craven Rage is here next Tuesday night. So Tuesday he'll be here around 9 o'clock Eastern time. Craven Rage, the Backyard Nightmare, returns to Sportswire Radio next Tuesday, July 23rd. Big Man Cam is a big man. Thank you, Michael, for the obvious. That was really riveting. Interesting. It was really riveting there, Michael. Michael, I could always count on you to say something that everybody would agree with. Big Man Cam is a big man. There's 30. Yeah. Thank you, Jackson Law, for answering that question. Cam, you made a mistake running your mouth out about the foundation. I'm going to get to that because I don't know enough about this just yet, but I want to come back to that. Hello, I'm going to get to him next. He's next on my agenda. ROEW, they're next. Hey, if the foundation has an issue with Cam, they have an issue with me. I'm going to get to all that stuff. I want to hang on tight. Big Man Cam will have a logo on that very shop soon. I could pick you up on my show. I'm going to get this. I know where this is going, but let's get to warming up a little bit. Want to say hello to Il Drago, another man I know you met at Summer Bash. Also, let me get to some more people. Speaking of New Age champions, I mentioned Anthony Steele. I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to everybody from Summer Bash and ROEW. Let me clear the comments first. Congrats, Big Oos. Cam met him at Summer Bash too. Good Uso. Obviously, very nice. Very, very nice comments there. Let's go here to some other comments. Parsley, one up and one down. So he's talking about you with the foundation. But this guy here, your brethren in BYW said, looking good, Cam. So if you are here, Big Man Cam, CJ Black would like to say, did you lose weight?
I think I have. I've been trying to, so I appreciate it. I'm really trying to get up there and muscle and lessen fat.
Well, you know what? I'm sure I could use some of the pounds. So if you want to lose some weight, you can give them to me because I could probably use the weight.
Dude, I really do. I'd have lost this weight years ago.
Well, I could probably use some of the weight because it feels like all I do is I'm on this platform. So, that's why I'm, as skinny as a stick. But that's okay. We'll move on from that. Big Man Cam is like JBL in the Beer City Bruiser. Thank you for that. That was a good comment, Gin Warrior. I definitely agree that he's like JBL in the Beer City Bruiser. That raise should be by the end of the next year, maybe. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going here. Oh, I get it. Yeah, we're a family show. CJ Black, you and I are on the same page in this one. We are a family show. I'm glad somebody enforces that. If Big Man Cam gets into a ladder match, I think he needs to
Come
get
on,
a hold of Big Shoes Ladder Maker. Is there such thing as a Big Shoes Ladder
big man
Maker?
can't. Yeah, I do. I haven't done a ladder match. I would break a ladder.
So
I
maybe we could.
right through.
Well, maybe that's an idea for somebody out there. Okay. Okay, and obviously Soldier is going throwing some darts at Law. That could be a sign
Come on.
of things to come. Okay, let me ask you a couple of remaining thoughts in XCW before I get to the business that I think a lot of people are here for. What are your goals as New Age champion? First of all,
I'm going to hold it as long as I possibly can because everybody gets dethroned eventually. I'm the best for now. It doesn't matter who you are. It's been proven time and time again. You will get dethroned eventually. But you do everything you can to not get dethroned. And that's part of the staying humble aspect of what I was talking about earlier. Just that's about all I got to say on that.
okay, okay. So obviously the XCW landscape is an interesting landscape right now. Hardcore champion is Santiago Cruz. EBW champion is Julian Void Jacobs. Obviously, he's basically worked up in this whole situation with EBW. Eric Mason is the world champion, and what a statement victory he had to close out Backfire, defeating Tommy the Man Merriman once again. Also, we have tag team champions. We have the Outliers. They're the tag team champions. ACT is the international champion. And, you know, we talk about all these champions I just alluded to. Where do you think you kind of fall into XCW's kind of landscape going into Summer Mania?
I think I fall into a big part of it. I'm holding the gold. I'm going to have someone come after me at Summer Mania. I know that for sure. And I wish them luck. I very much wish them luck. Because, like I said, I'm going to possibly can. Because, like I said, you get dethroned eventually. Stay humble.
Well, there's no question that, again, we've seen a lot of major shakeups in XCW recently. Obviously, Law held the EBW title for the better part of this calendar year. Julian Void Jacobs wins the title at Extreme King. Hunter Halkin wins the Extreme King. He's obviously locked up with Eric Mason here 42 days from now at Summer Mania, who's the new champion. We've obviously seen you winning the New Age title. The Outliers have been tag team champions now for a little while. They've obviously had some success with the titles. ACT was the world champion to start the year, but now he's the international champion. Santiago Cruz has been very impressive of late as the hardcore champion. So there's no question the landscape of XCW has changed drastically since you've come in there. But let me ask you then, going into Summer Mania, just is there anybody in particular that you're keeping an eye on most?
Nobody in particular I'm keeping my eye on most because I am now the hunted, to quote Cody Rhodes.
Thank you for letting us.
The eyes are on me. I don't have to keep my eyes on anything right now. I have to keep my eyes on myself. And I have to look out for myself. I can't worry about who's next. All I got to know is I have to get through them. Because I got to wait for them to come to me.
Fair. That's a fair statement. Okay, let me ask you a couple of funny things. You'll probably chuckle when I bring this up. What did you think about Trey Mysticality doing all those ring introductions throughout Backfire? What did you think about that? Big Man Cam. Did we lose Big Man Cam? It looks like
And here.
Did we lose you? Are you there?
I'm here now. Sorry. I apologize to everybody in chat. My Wi-Fi is terrible, and I have no data right now. Or else I'd be
totally understand. Definitely. Well, you're a big man. I'll give you a pass. I wanted to ask you. I'm going to give you two questions. That you're going to probably chuckle. I'll repeat them again. First part of it is, what did you think about Trey Mysticality doing all those ring introductions during Backfire? What did you think about that?
It was definitely weird, considering how long I've known him as a competitor. It was different. It was very different. I'm happy for him. And I got a little advice: just throw a little twang in that voice, and I think you're good.
I tell you what, he did a really good job there. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see in future shows in the road to Summer Mania if we'll see Trey Mysticality. But you know what? He definitely impressed a lot of people, and I hope to see more of that for sure. And I have to ask you, the second part of it is Holden Holloway. Holden Holloway is a man you know very well from ALW. Obviously, he was the champion ALW. He also obviously announced he is no longer competing in ALW, but he was obviously the guy that opened up the show here today at Backfire. And I was curious, what are your impressions now that Holden Holloway seems to be making the switch as a full-time XCW, CBW competitor? What is your feelings on that?
I have a feeling he won't stay away forever. I think he's just very bitter that he lost his championship. When he lost it the first time to Judas, that was when he kind of started to go on the downward spiral, and that's what led to him regaining the championship. I have no doubt that he'll get it back someday. I have no doubt that he's going to stay away forever. But I have no doubt that he's not going to stay away forever. I don't know how I worded that. It sounded weird. But I think it's a good change for him for now. He definitely needs a little change, especially once you lose a title. You lose something that's important to you, something you've held for a while. He's held that title since late last year. I forget what month exactly, but it's been his baby for a while. But yeah, it's just going to take him some time to get over it. He just needs to get over it and stop whining. That's not the Holden I know. He's gone, far from the person that I had wrestled. His attitude's completely different.
Well, he's going to be here on Sportswire Radio Monday, July 22nd, and he's going to talk about the switch to XCW and CBW as a full-time competitor. He's going to talk about what we saw here today against Onyx and Evan Phoenix, and he's going to talk about his future and what kind of happened in ALW in that championship match, plus whatever else he wants to talk about. So you'll see that here, more of him on the XCW YouTube page, XC Wrestling 1. Also check them out on the XCW Wix site, also Instagram. Check them out on Facebook and more. So obviously, we'll go out there and support more of Holden Holloway. He'll be here live, but we're here with Big Man Cam. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. Now, I think I want to talk about some of the things where a lot of people want to get your opinions on right now. And let's talk about some of those things. And the first topic, which I think a lot of people have been waiting for your opinions on, is this little company you're also a part of called ROEW, where you're a part of this group, BYW. And boy, has BYW been in the center of things. You know, speaking of the foundation, you know, your brother in the group, Jason Storm, the Cyclone Jason Storm, the former owner of ROEW, is now the ROEW Midwestern champion. I guess he was also a part of this 4 up, 4 down, and maybe in your case, 1 up and a whole bunch of other down, because he actually defeated Omen Black, the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god, the man that is his show after all, for that DKW championship, which he held, but there was outside interference by a man that I'm probably not going to bring up at this point for some different reasons. I'm sure if you know, you know. But obviously, Mr. Storm took that to the ROEW arena and renamed the championship. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. And also this kind of, I guess, scuffle between the past and present ROEW owners, which was on this show last Sunday. And James Taylor, your current boss and your former boss, but BYW member, Jason Storm. So what do you think about all that for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio?
I definitely think that they need to hash it out one way or another. If they're not going to hash it out on here, they should definitely hash it out in the ring. But from the few minutes I was watching, it seemed like they were getting some stuff off their chest. I was just very flustered at the time. That's why I got in here and I said something to Jason about calling me. The details of our call will probably stay private.
I would think that would be a good idea. That'd be a good idea.
They will stay private. But that's my opinion on them. I think they either just need to hash it out on here or they need to eventually hash it out in the ring, because to be quite honest, I'm sick of hearing them bicker back and forth. They just need to hash it out. If you're hearing me, Jason or James, one of you do something.
But wouldn't you think that, I guess, from your BYW compadre Jason Storm's part, he said a couple things that were interesting, though. He said that it was his time as owner that actually has helped ROEW grow to be this company that's one of the premier companies right now in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. He said basically it was his leadership that helped the company acquire the likes of Aaron Blaze, who we're about to see, certainly set the backyard and wrestling circuit here ablaze when it comes to his match with Jack Delta tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. I'll put the link up there for that shortly. And he talked about it's his reasonings as owner that helped the company get C Money to go out there. Now, I know, man, you certainly have no love for in C Money, a man that you've actually had some success against in the past, but he talked about that he was the reason, Jason Storm, that for C Money to go to TBW last weekend on July 4th and maybe have the biggest firework in ROEW's history by going there, opening the show at Rampage 165 and defeating Atomic Titan. Jason Storm talked about the fact that he's the reason that really DKW is here, and he's the reason that ROEW is going through the roof. And what did you feel about some of those points that Mr. Storm made?
He definitely brought me in. I could say that right now. When ROEW was under his ownership, I was brought in. And I'd say that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he pulled some strings on getting some of these other guys up here. He was all about looking for way more talented people. I mean, when you have people like Jacob Collins on your roster, you definitely need some people to outshine them. So I understand completely.
It's funny because before you came, the joke about ROEW was that it was a roster of 3 or 4. And now ROEW, everybody wants to come to ROEW. I had a show with James a couple of weeks ago, and we had guys from all over the place that called into my show and talked about that they wanted to come to ROEW, like Chase Wakefield, like a guy in Andrew Lovelace. And now it seems like everybody wants to come here. And does that give credence to what Jason Storm was saying, that really he laid, quote unquote, those foundations for ROEW to be this place, and all James Taylor had to do really was basically pick up the pieces, and all he had to do what Jason Storm did, and that's why the company is where it is today. I mean, does that kind of ring a bell or hit home to you at all?
I don't really know what's going on in that, like in that part of their argument. I don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes with owners.
Sure.
And like what was passed over, what wasn't passed over. All I'm saying is I know it wouldn't surprise me if Jason was pulling those strings originally. Now, my biggest thing is, and if you haven't noticed, people want to go up there since I started going up there.
Correct.
They saw Big Man Cam up there. Now they want to go up there. It's like wherever I go, everyone follows. I don't understand, but I'm not going to take it for granted.
So, you know what? I think you said something real interesting there, Big Man Cam. So, in many ways, we should be giving you the credit for kind of this ROEW growth, because you know what? You're absolutely right. You were the first wrestler that wound up and said, you know what? I want to go to ROEW. Then all of a sudden the floodworks opened. And we looked at it this year, and we see Aaron Blaze. Now we see the DKW guys, and now this guy and that guy. All you hear about is somebody wants to come to ROEW. But in this calendar year of 2024, you were the first guy that wanted to come to ROEW. Nobody else did before you. So maybe I should be giving you the credit tonight that it was Big Man Cam that has led ROEW to be the place to be. It was because of your quote unquote Bigfoot-like steps, your big influence, kind of like your TikTok influence, where to quote unquote, like I said, to introduce you tonight, that's where everybody's had that moment. You had the first big breakout moment in ROEW coming here, what it's led to everybody else since.
Yeah, at least this year. I do know of some last year.
But last year, your brethren that you've obviously seen, like Mr. Jackson Law was there, but most notably, I'm going to get to those guys. The foundations, Omen Black and Soldier GP, they were there in the ROEW arena before you were, and I'm going to get to them. Don't you worry.
Alrighty, yeah. But I definitely laid out some foundation for this year. I will
But
say that.
maybe we should, you know what? Maybe
20%.
we should, but maybe we should be saying, you know what, Big Man Cam, this year that you're the best traveling wrestler in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. Because after all, we talk about all these names, Aaron Blaze and D'Angelo LaFlame, and we talked about last year the Foundation, and we talked about Drake Golddragon now, and Anthony Steele in the past, and all these guys. Jack Delta, who's really made his name a home in ROEW mostly for this year. But maybe since last I checked, you're the double champion. Maybe it's Big Man Cam who's the greatest traveling wrestler this year in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. Because after all, you're the CBW world champion. And oh, by the way, you're the XCW New Age champion. So you know what? Maybe I should be calling you the biggest traveling wrestler right now in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit, because you're the only one, last I checked, that's a double champion.
In a literal sense, yes, I agree. I agree 100%. And there's other places I still want to go. I'd like to travel down to Tennessee. So James Taylor, get that in motion.
No, I don't think James Taylor can help you with Tennessee. I think you might have to just directly, get that contact yourself. Well, it depends which Tennessee, though. Which Tennessee you want? Which Tennessee, actually?
Where's C-Money?
Okay. Because I was going to say UWA. You could definitely go to UWA. James can help you with that one. No problem. UWA, there's Resurrection. Oh, TBW. Well, I'm sure that maybe, Joshua Allen might be interested in you. You're about 6'17". Yeah, he might be interested in a double champion. I'm sure that he could figure something out. But, so you basically aren't getting in the middle of this James Taylor, Jason Storm fight.
You could say that. I'm just putting my suggestion out there.
Go for it. What is your suggestion?
What I'd said earlier. Either hash it out on here, settle your differences, or get in the ring. I'd prefer him to get in the ring, honestly. It'd be pretty fun. I'll stay back. I know Jason can take care of himself. And here's one thing I want to put out there, too. So, in ROEW, when I took on C-Money, there was people talking shit. I'm trying not to swear. But they were talking and saying that I had help from Jason Storm. I did not have any help from Jason Storm. Watch that match back and name me one time that he got in that match physically and interfered. He was my hype man. He was hyping me up. He did not help me. He knows I don't. Even when C-Money got the upper hand on me, he did not step in there. He said, "Come on, Cam. Come on, Cam. Come on, Cam." He was sitting there hyping me up. He's my hype man whenever I'm up there.
It's funny that you say that, because people have said that about me for all these years on this platform, and the magic of technology actually puts the match here on the screen since you asked for it. And by the way, if you want to hit the sub button for ROEW, it's ROEW Backyard Wrestling, and they're almost at 800 subscribers. So congratulations to everybody in ROEW. They're 8 away from 800, and I'm sure they'll get there by tomorrow for sure. But, we're watching the match here a little bit since you wanted it up on the screen, and what does it mean to you, though, to be in there with a competitor like C-Money, who just walked into TBW, Rampage 165, biggest stage that anybody in ROEW's had a chance to wrestle in, aside from Delta, to be able to have that success? What does that mean to you, knowing that you just competed against C-Money and defeated him?
Makes me happy. Any person I defeat, it makes me happy. It gives me a point on that person. So he took on Atomic Titan and defeated Atomic Titan. Who's to say, Atomic Titan's going to get one up on me if I go down there?
I got this. So basically, if C-Money beat him, it would basically be, easy feud. Almost be like eating a piece of cake.
Exactly.
Duly noted. But what kind of competitor is C-Money?
He has it. He's a great competitor, actually. Real note, took care of me in the ring. Even though there was the one move, I'm sure you can pick it out, where I wasn't quite taking care of him. He still took care of me, so I'm appreciative. Thank you, C-Money. But he's very fierce. He doesn't like to give up. He took a beating. I will say that. He could definitely take a beating.
And I think it speaks volumes that he's a guy that can have these matches and be able to work the way he does, because we see him in the ring with you. We've seen him in the ring with his brother, CJ Black, the good guy, and obviously what he did with Atomic Titan. And I think I agree with you completely. His resiliency speaks volumes. And I think what he does and his ability, he's one of those guys that I almost feel like goes under the radar here on Sportswire because he doesn't come on here. We see him in the chat a lot, but he's not one of these guys that kind of raises his kind of fist and kind of yells and what he does. He kind of just lets his talking be done in the ring. And I think that that's why he's a guy that's become really successful. And I'm happy to see that a guy like him is getting his flowers a bit in the last few months, because obviously his work with his brother, his work with you right now, and obviously that moment in Tennessee, Rampage 165, 40 plus people live watching, over 2,000 people have already watched the show. And for him to have that moment and to open the show on 4th of July itself, that's a pretty monumental thing. And I'm glad a guy like him actually breaking the fourth wall a little bit. We know we do that every day on Sportswire, but I'm glad to see a guy like him have a moment that I think is really going to go a long way in establishing him further as one of the guys we talk a lot more about in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit.
I can agree with that. Breaking the fourth wall as well. It's very awesome for him to see him go down there.
And I'd like to tell you that Mr. C Money is here. He'd like to say Cam versus C Money 2 with a question mark.
Let's run it. We'll run it.
Wanted to also say, now that we're talking ROEW, what's your thoughts on the DKW guys being signed? Dark Crown and Matthew Forsaken. We saw Combat Joe also earlier this week on ROEW TV. What do you think about them now being a part of the ROEW roster?
I think it's definitely good for them. I think traveling for anybody to any promotion is good for them. It gives you the variety of people to face. Because when I was doing ALW, I was used to just facing Holden Holloway and Trey. That's literally it. And I was like, I need more variety, and the variety helps you grow. So I think it's good for them to get that variety in there, and I think it'll help them in the long run.
I never asked guys this question, as we're here with Big Man Cam, of course, who is the double champion. He is the CBW World Champion and the XCW New Age Champion, and also he won the title earlier today at XCW's latest show, Backfire. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. If you want to follow ROEW Backyard Wrestling on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And also 7 o'clock Eastern Time will be Jack Delta versus Aaron Blaze. That'll be for that ROEW World Championship, which the outsider Jack Delta holds. I never asked anybody this question. I'd be curious your thoughts. You see these guys in different places, whether it's Jason Storm, Jacob Collins as examples, and CBW, and you see him, and whether it's Holden Holloway and Trey Mysticality in your own company. Now you see him in XCW. Is it ever weird when you see guys that you've obviously either wrestled often or know from different places, and they come into a place like ROEW or XCW as an example? Is there ever kind of like a weirdness to that at all when you see these guys so much?
I wouldn't say a weirdness. I'd say it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see them branch out. And it makes me a little happy for them because I know they're growing when they're in different places. So I'd say it's more a thing instead of a weird.
Okay. Does it make you then feel like you're going on a journey with them because these guys are obviously starting to move up, especially even guys like a Jason Storm, guys like a Holden Holloway, for example? Those guys, I think, have come a long way. Jason Storm was here on Sportswire when he was just kind of in the early phases of his ROEW career, and look at where he is now. He's the ROEW Midwest champion. He's a traveler himself, and Holden Holloway now is a part of XCW. It seems to be a full-time member of the roster, and I think it's got to be pretty cool for you then to see these guys and go on their journey with them.
Yeah, one thing I will say is I don't think we all have the same journey here in Backyard. Everybody's journey is different. In Backyard, Underground, Indie, Pro, everybody's journey is completely different. But it's nice when you have the same stops. Like, if you get what I'm saying there.
Yeah, no, totally. I think that, obviously it allows everybody to go on the journey, and you've obviously got the victory here, and it didn't seem like you needed so much help, and you're obviously a very happy man. So is Mr. Storm. But I actually wanted to go back to Mr. Storm for a second before I get a few more thoughts on ROEW, before I get to my real topic that I'm sure some people in this chat really want you to talk about. But in terms of Jason Storm, now he calls himself the ROEW Midwestern Champion. It was the DKW title, and you're a double champion yourself. What do you think of this? Does it mean anything to change the name of the title? What's your kind of impressions on that?
He won it. He can do what he wants with it. Storm's a bit of a cyclone, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I had him here Sunday, and I've known him very well for a long time. Yes.
If he wants to do something, he's going to do it. Me personally, I wouldn't do that because just me holding a title brings some prestige to it. So I don't need to change the name, I feel. But he felt that he needed to change the name. I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. And he's going to do what he wants regardless. I back him. BYW Brothers.
Let me ask you then a different question. Do you think that, again, I know the answer kind of, you talked about you won't get involved in the ownership spat between the former owner Storm and the current owner Taylor. I've asked you in the past about James Taylor, but do you think that ROEW's board of directors, along with James Taylor, should allow Jason Storm to rename the DKW World title to the ROEW Midwestern title?
I could say this: if they don't let him, they're going to have a lot more problems on their hands than they already have. So
So they should just let him go with it, right? He wants to name it. He won the title. He won it fair and square. He won the title. It's his right to do whatever he wants with it then, right?
Yes. If they want less problems, let him do what he wants.
And if ROEW wants less problems, JX shouldn't bother with you guys, and especially Jason Storm, correct?
Yes. I can vouch for that as well. Anything with BYW, there's going to be less problems.
Well, James Taylor apparently has something to say. Now he has some things he wants to say. I like to have problems because I'm a problem master.
Hey, that's on you, Taylor. That's on you.
Is that the right approach from James Taylor, the nemesis James Taylor, a fellow TikTok influencer like you? And is that the right way to go about that? Because, I mean, like you said, Jason Storm, he actually right now might be on the most vicious level and maybe the most dominant run he's been on his career. Because if you think about it, yes, I know he was a world champion multiple times. I know he was the ROEW world champion. But right now, the run he's on, I don't think anybody would want to be his problem.
I agree with that. I feel bad for anybody in his or our way. I don't know why Taylor wants problems, though. You want things to run as smoothly as you can.
So what did you think about the nemesis James Taylor, the legendary James Taylor, try to almost have a knock at Jason Storm's house? What did you think about that? Him knocking on the door and, trying to get in there. And what was that about? What did you think there?
Listen here, James. I don't know what he means by this comment. I don't know how he's going to solve the problem easily.
Maybe with the Stone Cold TikTok video?
Easily. I don't know how he's going to do it easily. It's going to be hard, if anything. But I don't understand why you'd show up to his house. I get being frustrated. I get being angry. I get, having problems. But showing up to his house, why would you show up to his house? You can show up to his house, but you won't show up to the ROEW arena.
Ooh, boy. Would you like to meet James Taylor one day in the ROEW arena? Would you like to meet him? And, what would you say to him?
I don't even have any personal problems with James Taylor. He hasn't came after me for anything.
No, he hasn't. He has not.
So I kind of got an issue there. I got to have an issue there. I got to look out for my brother.
No, listen, I think that's a completely valid statement. If you want to buy some merchandise, some ROEW merchandise, we have a bunch of them here. I'll get to some more comments in a second, but I have to ask you, I know as a spectator, but even though as an ROEW guy, what do you think about tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern time, the match that not even just people in the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit are talking about, but I would dare say in the entire wrestling community, period, in Jack Delta and Aaron Blaze. You're a fellow traveler. You're also a double champion, so you obviously know what these guys are going through and carrying responsibilities of championships. And Aaron Blaze is obviously looking to make his biggest moment, his breakout moment, kind of like what you did here today in XCW. And Jack Delta's really been the man. He has been the guy that's traveled more than anybody in this community, in this circuit over the past 6 years. But what's your impressions from afar on tomorrow's show at Friday Face-Off for the ROEW World title between Aaron Blaze and Jack Delta?
I think it's going to be a good one. I'm ready to tune in and watch. I think Blaze is going to give it his all. I think Delta's also going to give it his all. But it's hard to tell with the tension between them who's going to come out victorious. They both want it really, really bad, from what I can tell. So I know it's going to be a fight, and I'm looking forward to that fight. Because when you got two guys with an intense drive like they have, it's going to be like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, I think.
Well, you were kind of in the same situation because you just beat Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis has been a very established guy. Jay Ellis is a guy that's done a lot of really good things, and you were kind of in a way like an Aaron Blaze, an up and comer, and you were able to defeat him. And what do you think in terms of the fact that Aaron Blaze has talked about his passion? He's talked about the fact that he's here. He wants to completely change the circuit. If he doesn't win, he sees himself as a failure. Jack Delta basically was here a couple of weeks ago and kind of, in his words, exposed a little bit about Aaron Blaze and how he travels to these companies and he's this big fish in a small pond and he wins these titles that don't really mean anything. But Aaron Blaze is pretty much, he's outgunned him. He's outmanned him so far on the two appearances. They had the Good Guy Gossip Show, of course, with your buddy CJ Black. And when Aaron Blaze showed up to the ROW Arena, and he actually put a good foot or two through Mr. Delta. And, what do you think of some of that back and forth?
I think I know it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough to answer this one. I think Blaze can bring prestige to any title that he holds. That doesn't matter where you get a title from. It matters what prestige you bring to it. And it matters how you represent, like we were talking about earlier. Representation is what matters. If you represent it well, you bring prestige to it, that title then means something. I think Blaze can do that. I think Delta's wrong in that sense that, he won a bunch of titles for nothing. With Blaze's passion, I think he can break through on Delta. But I definitely disagree with, the fact that he's held titles and they don't mean anything. He has made them mean something, from my understanding. And Delta has also made.
Oh, Delta, I mean, listen, Delta held the New Age title earlier this year, a title that you hold currently. And I think it's interesting. In some ways, you could look at the match and say, well, Aaron Blaze is coming here with nothing to lose. He's got everything to gain, and that might make him the most dangerous of anybody that Jack Delta's faced in his career because, Jack Delta's faced a lot of great opponents. He obviously had the war with JX everybody's talking about. He's had the wars with CJ Black, and CJ Black beat him a couple times there. And, he's had some wars with some great different people, but Aaron Blaze is a guy, he's never faced somebody like him, and Aaron Blaze is coming in here, and he's got something to prove, and he wants to prove to people why really he's the guy. And, Jack Delta's talked about chapters. He's talked about a whole list of different things. And, I think it's, listen, I've said it, I think it's too close to call, really. I think that to me, you got points as to why either man could win the title. But I think at the end of the day, the only thing you can do is go and watch it. I have a lot of comments here about it. I knew this would kind of get people riled up, but let me get to, first of all, James Taylor before I get to Jackson Law. By the way, I've got a breaking news link for you. I've actually got something breaking news here that I've been given from somebody here, which I'm going to get to in about 5 minutes. Then we'll talk Summer Bash. But hang on to that for the audience. But let me get to James Taylor first of all. Can I get a serious question for you? How are you going to handle when Jason Storm gets done with you and turns on you one day? You probably should worry about more than when the nemesis arrives.
Look, James. Jason Storm's my brother. I don't see that happening. I don't know why he would turn on me of all people. He knows what I can do. He's the one that brought me in. He's the one that saw something in me that nobody else did. I don't see that happening. That's why we had talked on the phone the other night, because I didn't know where his head was at. And I know his head's in a good place. With me, at least. Not with you, but with me. So I don't see that happening. And James, you just need to show your face when I'm there, is all I'm asking. I'd like to meet my boss.
Do you think also that people in the locker room would like to meet James? Because the only person, if I'm not mistaken, ROEW has officially met James Taylor is Jack Delta, because Jack Delta wrestled in the PWF and he wrestled in TBW. Those were companies that James Taylor was a part of, and he's obviously shared a locker room with James. So that's obviously a different conversation, but I'm sure the guys in the ROEW locker room would love to meet James Taylor, including yourself.
I'd definitely love to. There's no reason why I shouldn't.
I don't know. That's an answer you'd have to ask James about. I mean, that's an interesting thing. I don't know why you haven't met him yet. Maybe he's been busy growing the company. Maybe he's been busy with board of directors meetings. Maybe he's been busy in terms of just trying to help the company grow. I mean, the social media presence of ROEW has just completely changed night and day since James has taken over. I'll say that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely has, and he's got some positives, but man, you gotta quit messing with my brother, man.
Well, let me ask you a different question, and I will get to everybody's comments in a second, but you've obviously been very impressive in your own right in ROEW. You now are the CBW World Champion. You were the XCW New Age Champion. I mean, do you see yourself maybe as a guy that should really be a top contender to whoever walks away with the title tomorrow? I mean, I know Jason Storm kind of talked a little bit about Jack Delta in his most recent appearance here, but also on ROEW TV last week. But do you feel like that with what you've done, being a double champion, even your wins in ROEW, are you a guy that maybe should be the next man up to face whoever wins tomorrow?
Considering I've defeated roughly half the company, I'd say so. Granted, one of the guys I faced was a no-brainer.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
Rhymes with Facob Shalins. I don't know.
Oh, that was so creative of you. So that was very creative of you. You know, you definitely, I appreciate that you had the creativity when you answered that name.
Yeah, I don't even want to say his name anymore. I don't want his ego to go up.
Okay, well, all right, fair enough. I have a ton of comments. Let me try to get to everybody originally in chronological order. Let me come back here. Let's see. Okay. I want to say hello to my friend, Mr. Sport Entertainment Guy. Big Man Cam will be the next Cowboys and Hangman. Okay, thank you. Good comment, I suppose. C Money, how easy was it to shut up the self-proclaimed hardcore king? We'll see if C Money answers that.
For that. I love GP for that because
I want to say hello to, speaking of another company in Tennessee that would probably love to have you, where Aaron Blaze is also a representative of the UWA. My friend Jay Cal is here. Of course, he is the Headshot Jay Cal, and he's a part of the Underground Wrestling Alliance. And Aaron Blaze is the Heritage Champion there. And, you know, maybe if you want to travel to Tennessee and for whatever reason TBW is not available, the UWA, I'm sure, would love to have you.
For sure. And I definitely, when I go down there, I want to visit Nashville. I've never been to Nashville.
Well, guys would love you. And there's another company, the PWF Mid-South. I mean, my buddy Tristan Taylor runs that. And obviously me, Omen, and Soldier own the other portion of the PWF. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I'm sure those guys would love to have you there. No questions asked, I'm sure.
Yeah, reach out. The best way to reach me is DMs.
I'll take care of that for you. Don't you worry. Big Man Cam, I'll make sure that you'll have somebody greet you after we're off the air. Don't you worry about that. I can guarantee you some representatives from UWA will be in touch with you when we're off the air. You rest assured on that. I'll guarantee it.
Sweet. I'm happy about
it. Well, I knew you'd appreciate that. CBW needs a bigger ring. It's a hard to wrestle on. Do I know who Jen Warrior in the house is? Does the CBW need a bigger ring? That's up to the CBW guys to figure. I don't get in the middle of sizes of rings. Every ring is different here. Soldier and Omen are fighting. That's earlier comments. James Taylor brought us and acquired me and Forsaken. No thanks to Storm. So the DKW guys are coming in not because of Jason Storm, because of James Taylor. Okay, that's confirmed. Appreciate that.
Oh, like I said, it just wouldn't surprise me.
All right. Well, thank you, Sport Entertainment Guy. Yes, I hope everybody subscribes. Subscribe on Sportswire to Sportswire Radio at $65.79. Yes, I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers as well. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Let me get to some more comments. I'm going to get to something Mr. Law had to say in about 2 minutes because I have a little surprise for you, Big Man Cam. Seriously, called anybody who wants to become champion. Big Man Cam did a great job in ROEW. It's the best backyard ring. Anytime I watch, it's got to be great. Okay. How far is ROEW from Indiana? I think guys answer that's 4 hours, right? About 4 hours?
I'd say 5.
Okay.
Depending on you take, but I don't know. I've never traveled from.
What's closer to you? I'd be curious for the audience. What is closer for you, ROEW or XCW?
They're literally the same distance from my
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Basically,
way.
okay. Wow. What a small world. It's interesting. So fascinating. Ohio is kind of near everything, right? Michigan, Indiana,
Holman got
Kentucky.
a little scuffle about this. He said Indiana's like the second of everywhere. I said, not when you're branching from New Jersey to Iowa. I said, it's 9 hours each way. I said,
Oh, okay.
is the
Okay.
second.
Aaron Blaze is the third longest reigning CBW critical heavyweight champion ever. I did not know that. That's a very good point here. Justin Parsley wants to be alleviated from any traveling or lodging expenses. I think Jackson's got a funny one. Parsley is on a CJ Black status. No hotel, food, limo. He ain't showing up. That's a funny one there. Also, James wants to address he's been very busy promoting the company from his offices, and why would I not mess with you? Why would I not mess with your brother? He started with me first. And also, he wants to know for Justin, what did he mean by that? CJ Black is the hardcore king of karaoke as far as the ear can hear. And he, by the way, would know about that. Justin Parsley is a DJ who specializes in karaoke, by the way. Jay Cal is also a former critical champion as well, and the chat's just flooded with him tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of. I know it's like kind of like a reunion of CBW and XCW champions tonight. Is this a reunion? Are you guys like having like early first day of school? I thought we were supposed to talk Summer Bash in a second. Real talk, Cam was very cool and was mannered when he came in his commentary skills. Yes, that I know for sure. Yes, definitely agree with you on that. I think I'll have to make that conversation. Okay, so we'll see what happens in ROEW. I want to put something else here on the screen, but before I do that, I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. D Savage from NEW Underground Wrestling. They actually have something that we're a part of called the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. It takes place August the 24th. Now, they're in Massachusetts. I don't know how far you are from Massachusetts, but if you ever have some interest in going into Worcester, Massachusetts, I'm sure I could help you out there with that. If you like that style of wrestling, that technical, hardcore wrestling, NEW, 2,000 plus subscribers, D Savage wrestles in 814 Wrestling. In fact, actually, D Savage is going to be wrestling in Indiana this weekend, but not for XCW. He's actually on the independent circuit this weekend. But if you're ever interested in meeting Mr. D Savage, I'm sure I could arrange something if you'd like.
I will say this. I have a lot of respect for hardcore wrestling.
Me too.
That's what we did in ALW.
I know, and I'm trying to my best not to talk about that. It's a sore subject, actually, tonight. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
I just can't do it anymore. It messes with my body too much. I don't like the way I feel like a day or two after. I think it's caused a lot of issues with my neck, my knee, because I'm having trouble now with my right knee. I need to go get it checked. It's still clicking, and I put pressure on it for too long. And it happened.
Is that from beating up Jacob Collins these past several months?
No, nothing to do with Collins. That match was different.
All right.
I'm definitely taking a very prolonged break from it. But I support it, and I'll tune in. But it's just something I can't do. And the weird thing too is I don't like my own blood. Now, if somebody else has their blood, or it's like a minor cut on me, no big deal. But if I have a crimson mask, I'm gonna freak out. I don't like seeing my own blood. When I actually, funny story, a little off topic here, but when I had
your big man Cam, you got the floor.
When I had my surgery, I had an IV in this arm, and they'd unhook me from the thing so I could do my imagery.
Mm-hmm.
And the tech forgot to close my IV cap, and it was like 3 seconds worth of blood just started shooting out, and I was like, oh. I started shaking. I was like, oh, I don't like seeing my own blood, and I just don't like seeing my own blood. So that's part of what disqualifies or discourages me from doing it. It's my own blood.
Well, it reminds me of, for whatever reason, for those who are fans of the band Slayer, they had a famous video years ago called Bloodline. What's that?
I have a Slayer tattoo. It's on my thigh.
Why do I feel like I knew that, but I was gonna not bring that up on the air? But for whatever reason, when you talked about that, it reminded me of the video for the album "God Hates Us All." And in the video, all of a sudden, the blood comes out, and they're just playing, and they're all singing and everything else. And yeah, I actually liked "God Hates Us All." A lot of people were like, but it was a comeback after their previous albums, which were like absolutely Diabolus and Musica, and it was Undisputed Attitude were absolutely They sucked, honestly.
Believe it or not.
What's that?
Slayer was my first concert when I was 18.
And who was on? Was it just Slayer? Who was on the bill, real quick?
Slayer, Lamb of God. I think it wasn't Megadeth. Sorry.
Yeah, Megadeth wouldn't play with Slayer, other than the big four. Megadeth, they're no match for Slayer. If we're gonna really be real for a second, they're no match for Slayer.
Oh, it was Slayer, Lamb of God, Anthrax, Behemoth, and Testament. But we were an hour late to the concert, so we missed Testament.
That would have been the band I would have liked to have seen most, Testament.
I was very sad we missed Testament. We had our times mixed up. And
Testament is such an underrated band. Such an underrated band.
I wish I could have seen them. I was so sad.
Anthrax to me with a band that actually least belongs on that bill because they're like the biggest like poser band, but that's a different conversation. I have my reasons. But speaking of people real quick, Aaron Blaze is here. The headline is here. And anything you want to say to Mr. Blaze? Anything you have before I change and actually put something on the screen that's a little special thing for you just now?
Good luck, bud. You're going to have a rough fight tomorrow. And I wish you the best. I wish you and Delta both the best. I know I'm going to be entertained the whole time. I know it's going to be a good fight, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
And I was speaking to Aaron throughout the evening because he, like me, was actually doing a couple different things, and I know that he was very excited for you to come on here. And I want to put this up on the screen. And before I do, also a few more comments, I wanted to give you, because I got breaking news hot off the presses for you, Big Man Cam, before I get to Summer Bash, because I have something right here, because you have right off the presses, literally right off those XCW Shop Zone press lines. You've got your first shirt. It's that Big Man Cam, smooth as Tennessee whiskey, XCW. And it shouldn't have been Indiana whiskey. Only have Indiana whiskey because, Tennessee, Indiana. But congratulations. You got your own shirt. You become the New Age champion. Now you got some merchandise there. How do you like that?
I actually really like that. That's awesome. That's an awesome design, and it fits the shirt that I was using. Funny story about the shirt I was using. I started off with the sleeveless jacket.
Yes.
And lost it like when before I left, and I could not find it, so I stopped at Walmart and got that shirt for $7, and I've had it.
Boy, Walmart, you can find almost anything and everything in Walmart, and obviously you win a championship, you get some merchandise, and Sport Entertainment guy says he definitely likes hearing of you, he respects you, and definitely looks good. He loves the shirt. It's a great looking shirt. I definitely agree. And I definitely agree that the chat is definitely on fire tonight. We have a big crowd. I'm happy about that. My last couple of shows in Sportswire were a little bit more tamer. Tonight, I think, is kind of a regular show again. It feels normal again. Jake and James were good, but my last, 5 or 6 days, a little more quieter than usual. And tonight feels like we're back where we belong. And Aaron wants to also say congratulations on winning the New Age Championship. Also good to know the CBW title, which he helped make, is being used to elevate the future. Very good points. I agree with Mr. Blaze and can confirm when Collins bloodied him up ahead of B for D, Cam went Hulk mode and started shaking and eating all the lunch meat sandwiches. Boy, I would not want to be in the middle of you hulking up and just in the middle of that, sir. I would not want to be in the middle
of that. He's lucky we didn't have our other match. He's lucky we didn't have our first blood match immediately after. That would have been over. I'd have went at him. He would have been done for.
Well, you know what? Speaking of which, that's why I'm glad I'm not there, and I'm glad I'm here. But I want to take this off the screen. You go to the XCW Shop Zone store to get that shirt. Go out there and also get your ROEW shirt from Big Man Cam. But I think the time is now to bring up for the remaining time of this show. One of the reasons I have you here is this little thing called Summer Bash. And Summer Bash, what a small world, was in kind of your backyard, your stomping grounds in the great state of Ohio. I happen to love the state of Ohio, obviously because you're a part of it. And, we love Ohio. And that's where Summer Bash 2 is held. And, we kind of had fun a little bit about, beating a foundation member. But obviously you were there in Summer Bash. I'm going to put something up on the screen shortly that maybe will show us a little bit of some behind the scenes stuff at Summer Bash. But tell us, for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, Double Champ Big Man Cam, what was your experience at this little event that's going to change the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit as we know it? Summer Bash. What was your experience?
Great. It was overall just great. I met a lot of people that I'd never met before. There was literally only 2 people there that I'd ever shared a locker room with, and that was
Well, I guess Parsley and Remy Ravage, right?
it. Everybody else was brand new, and it was cool to get into a place where I really didn't know anybody, and I got comfortable pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah, I got comfortable pretty quick, and it it was very welcoming. I will say that I felt very welcome there, so it was fun.
Have you ever experienced anything like that? What was, just overall, you're there and I know you've done some different things, but when you were there, did you know it was going to be something to what it was? Did you have any expectations, anything that you thought when you were going there?
I thought I was going to have fun, and I most definitely did. Uh, I definitely expected to have some decent matches, and I feel like I did. I feel like I
You
had
did?
matches. I had a very fun time. Uh, Met a lot of people that I otherwise, if I wouldn't have went, would not have met.
Well, you
Uh,
might have met him here on Sportswire. I mean, I'm sure there had to have been people you're like, I have seen you on Sportswire. I mean, most of the people I would imagine you have seen on this platform. So it could have been all weird. I mean, obviously, it's weird you haven't met them in person, but I'm sure the majority of the people there, almost the overwhelming majority, you've seen on this platform.
yeah, I have, and I've talked to most of them in DMs or other video chats, stuff like that. Uh, but I love GP. I really love
How
GP.
about Skippy the Evil Clown, my PWF champion? Did you get a chance to meet Skippy?
I did not. I was not there.
Oh, boo.
I know. I was not there Friday. I wish I could have been, but unfortunately, I was not.
Ah. Now Friday was the day it rained, right? Was that the day it rained over there in
Yeah,
Bremen?
that's what I'd heard. I'd heard it got rained out.
Oh boy, yeah, I guess rainouts happen in wrestling. And
Least
you know, did you catch? I think JX was there when you were there as well. JX would be the third person you had a locker room with, right? Would you
oh,
catch JX?
uh, I had to leave early on Sunday, so I had to do all my stuff uh, earlier on in the day. But I got to see JX for a couple hours.
Okay, so JX would be the third person you've shared a locker room with,
Oh,
and
I have shared a locker room with Monoxide at OMW.
oh right, yes, Monoxide would be number 4. Monoxide, although Monoxide is ROEW also, but I don't think you've actually been in there when he's been in ROEW. So that's kind of where you'd see him in OMW more. Good point, because I mentioned OMW. Over 12 companies were a part of this event. That's got to be wild, right? That many companies. You had IMF, DKW, WC, CBW. You had XCW. You had ROEW, OMW. You had Resurrection Wrestling. I mean, you had by proxy companies such as AWL, Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, and D'Angelo the Flame. And I mean, you had all these companies from all over the place. And I just think that's so fascinating that all of you were here together,
Mm-hmm.
just that's pretty cool.
It was definitely a super show. I will say that. Uh, Very fun time. Very, very, very fun time. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
You think they'll do it again? Do you think there'll be another Summer Bash or you don't know? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't see what reason there would be to not have another Summer Bash.
I don't know. I had to ask. I mean, this is the first time I'm really talking about Summer Bash since the event happened.
It was very successful, I'd say. Very successful.
I have no doubt. Listen, again, when you talk about over 12 companies being there, IMF, DKW, WCE, XCW, CBW, ROEW, Resurrection Wrestling, through proxy, you had AWL, you had Tennessee Backyard Wrestling through proxy of D'Angelo the Flame, NEW. You had all these companies that were there that were really because of that. You just amazing. You had just OMW was there. I mean, you think about what JX and Monoxide and them being a part of it, and you had the PWF, my company, the Promo Wrestling Federation, because of Skippy the Evil Clown. So we have to throw that in there also. Technically, too, he's my champion, but to have all these participants, so I have to ask you. I mean. So obviously these matches haven't been released yet, but so I can't talk about these matches because they haven't been aired. I'm sure in the coming days we'll talk about them, but we're watching Remy Ravage's vlog, and credit to Remy Ravage for actually giving us this access to use. I spoke with Remy, and Remy said absolutely go ahead and use it. But Now, who are the names of people? We kind of hinted at the foundation. You're a big man. There's these big guys there in the foundation. And, who or what do you think were people that tried to see who was as big as Big Man Cam and tried to step up?
I'm sure you could guess based off my interactions earlier.
Yeah, I think I could. Two names come to mind right off the bat.
Do you mind sharing those names, Tom?
I would love to if you allow me, since we are live in prime time, especially if you would. Now, I was thinking, now, let me try to guess. I'll try to think about it. You could tell me if I'm right or wrong. I might be wrong because, again, I know nothing about wrestling. I know absolutely zero about anything that goes on. I don't even watch wrestling. I don't even know what these terms are, but I'm going to take a guess and say the two names would be Soldier GP and Omen Black. Those would be the ones, maybe, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are right on the money. Although I love GP, but I just don't know what their issue is. I'm upset.
What do you think? You think they're jealous? They know that you have the size on them. You got the double championships now that you hold, and you're obviously, maybe it's a TikTok influence that you have, being so big on TikTok, and maybe that's what it is.
Like I said, I don't know what their motive is, because Jay Ellis came out and attacked me after my CBW world title win. He was wearing a Foundation shirt. I should have pieced it together right then and there, but I didn't. It took me going to this event to see that they're after me.
You didn't know at that time. Who would have guessed 3 months ago almost? Who would have guessed that?
I wouldn't have known. They've been planting seeds on going for me for months, and I've been blind to it.
That's why it had to feel good tonight that you were able to defeat Jay Ellis and take that New Age title away from you. It had to feel good for you. Had to just be pretty sweet there and savoring that moment.
Yes, after this past weekend, it felt 10 times better. I took out one of their members. They could send more people my way. It's the same fate. Like Tyson said. Well, not like Tyson said, but similar. Different date, same fate.
So I guess you would have to align a little bit with Justin Parsley on how he sees things with the foundation. He's been having his struggles with the foundation. You're obviously a teammate of Justin's in XCW. And I mean, I'm sure you see some of the things that Justin's been talking about here.
Yeah, I'm mixed up on Parsley. I don't know right now. He's a supporter. I'm a supporter of him on a real note.
Oh, real. I like how you use the term real.
When we're out there, it's a different ball game. He sees me as a threat. Justin Parsley does. He sees me as a threat. Understandably so. But I got a lot of respect for Justin Parsley, and I hope he feels the same way about me.
Well, why wouldn't he? I mean, after all, we saw what he did to his former tag team partner today. I'm sure that really they're not together anymore after what I just saw on Backfire, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other people that know other things, but I only know what I saw on XCW TV.
I'll tell you, it was shocking. Shocking to me. I don't know what got into him. I don't.
Maybe he was tired of carrying his tag team partner for all this time.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you. But he made that decision, went with it, and I don't know where they're going next. Either of them.
Did you want to be in the foundation?
I never got an invite to the foundation. They just came after me as soon as I started, pretty much.
Well, why didn't you get an invite? Because Jason Storm is a brother of yours in BYW. Why do you think that you would not have gotten an invite to the foundation? Because after all, Jason Storm's in the foundation.
I don't know. Tom, this is what I mean. Like, I'm lost. I don't know what the reasoning is.
That's what I'm trying to figure out tonight. I'm actually trying to figure out that one for you.
I would have loved to have been a part of the foundation. They're a very dominant group. And the more dominant people you add to a dominant group, the more dominant they're going to become. So I don't know why.
But they don't seem as dominant anymore.
Definitely not after this. But wouldn't you think if, the dominance is failing, you'd add more?
Well, listen, my affinity for you. I would maybe I would let you take over Sportzwire. Everybody keeps saying, who's the successor? In fact, I'm actually going to break the fourth wall. Really, there was actually somebody out there a few days ago that said, would you consider selling Sportswire Radio? And I said, basically, I'm like Vince McMahon. What do you think the answer will be until about maybe when I'm 80? Or hopefully I won't have a Janelle Grant situation. That was basically the answer. So
You don't want that part of Vince.
we don't. I hope to live that long. But the point is that I would think that the foundation would have gladly wanted you, especially right now with the foundation struggling right now. I mean, obviously, Omen Black lost gold, and Soldier's been locked in this war with Justin Parsley and Jay Ellis. We saw what happened to him if you count him in the group. And I mean, the DKW guys, sure, they're a part of the group. They're in ROEW, but what's to come with them now? Everybody in the foundation doesn't seem as unified. Sean Jovi lost one of his 2 belts. He was a double champion like you. He's no longer a double champion. So, I would think the foundation would want to add some muscle, some size, and a guy as big as Bigfoot, and also a big TikTok influencer. You, by far, would be the biggest social media influencer the group would have.
Yeah, I'm still lost on it, Tom. I'm just at a loss for words.
You think they're jealous of you?
They could be. The possibilities are endless as to why they came after me. Oh, there's me.
What do you think about seeing yourself on the vlog? Who is that guy? Do I know him? Who is this guy?
That's Parsley.
Oh, it is looking. Yeah, it looks like him a little bit. Yeah, I think it is him.
I think right when he got there too.
Oh, wow. So you guys got there the same time, or you got there before him?
I was there like a couple hours before him. I was just sitting around. But he got there and we was talking.
What was your impressions of just the setup and just everything else here? Was there anybody that struck you most that was maybe totally different than you expected?
Anthony Steele.
Oh, Anthony Steele. Now, Anthony Steele, I'm sure you're aware of, was an XCW New Age champion and never lost his title. I mean, obviously, what a small world there. You both are New Age champions.
He was a lot different in real life because he's controversial on here, but he was actually really cool and laid back in real life. It was weird. I was expecting somebody completely different. And I hope he's watching too. He was definitely...
Well, what if I said to you that Mr. Steele in a few minutes wanted to say hello and obviously introduce himself from one New Age champion to another?
Yeah, I'm all open for it.
Okay, well, I'm sure we can arrange that. I do have a lot of comments because this foundation thing obviously hit a nerve with some people. Let's come back to a couple things.
It hit a nerve with me too.
I can see that. You call guys friends who's a part of our team. Yeah, well, that's the point. Parsley's a sleaze. What do you expect? Maybe Jackson Law should come back to Sportswire and tell us why. Maybe that's something he might be interested in. Big Man Cam, nothing but respect. Rob hit me with a cutter at Extreme King. Please note, I never put my hand on him. I walked away from a heated situation. That is technically true. But something tells me that in a real one here, that Rob Slater, he's definitely really going to be feeling what happened today at Backfire. It really backfired on him. Everybody's a sleaze. I own it. Being sleazy, COMES pretty easy. COMES pretty easy. Okay, well, wait till you see Summer Bash and then let me know if we've lost the touch. I haven't seen Summer Bash, so I actually don't know. As a matter of fact, people think, oh, well, you know what happens and everything. I actually don't, so I have no idea what happened at these things.
Don't love GP.
If you don't know, now you will all know what it is.
I'm looking forward to finding out.
So basically, this foundation, do you think that we've seen the last of you in the foundation?
No, not by a long shot.
No?
They awarded me, so I'm going to have to take it to them. That's where this is going to end up going.
Now, I know that you can't tell me the conversation you had with Jason Storm, and I wouldn't want to, in terms of client privilege, I wouldn't want you to share those details. But if I asked you at the very least, did you bring up the foundation with him?
Yes, I did. And we are okay.
You are okay with Jason Storm.
I am okay with Storm.
Obviously, you were okay with Jason Storm, but when you talked about other members of the foundation? How did that conversation go?
It definitely went a little different. We will say that. Brother in arms, Jason Storm, we have a different bond than anybody else that's present in the foundation. So he was the first one I went to about it. And I don't think I can go into much more detail than that.
So basically, the other foundation members aren't like Jason Storm.
They're not like Jason Storm. They're completely different from Jason Storm. They have an issue with one of their brothers, and I don't understand why.
Have you asked Jason Storm to talk to the other foundation members, or is that something you can't elaborate on?
I did not ask him that. No.
You did not ask him that. Why would you have not asked him that? Was that because of just your big man Cam, and you'd rather not kind of ask him to help? I mean, you're a double champion. I would think, obviously, if he could help you as a BYW member, he would.
I just don't fear the foundation like that. I don't need somebody.
So you think that the foundation are basically they're paper tigers? The foundation really, sure, they push around guys, nobodies like Craven Rage. They push around nobodies and other people that come on to this stream, and they've had a lot of success in IMF. No question, they've definitely had a lot of success there. But when it comes to guys like yourself, guys like Justin Parser, even guys like Anthony Steele, the foundation, they aren't these big, bad, tough guys that everybody makes them out to be. I mean, they've been here on this platform, and other companies have come on here, and they don't seem to be fearing the foundation too much, certain ones with 3 initials.
Yeah. I'm still at a loss for words, Tom. I'm sorry. My Wi-Fi did that thing again.
That's okay. I know you're obviously, it's a lot to process. And, speaking of which, I guess before we sign off here, there's a couple of people that I just mentioned that they want to chime in and kind of elaborate on some of the things that you've kind of experienced with the foundation. And one in particular is this guy that was also a New Age champion, and his name is Anthony the Real Deal Steele, who makes this long-awaited return back to Sportswire Radio, and I'm sure he'll be back here very soon. And I know, Anthony, you were waiting for somebody else to come here that was a backyard nightmare, but we have a double champion here, so I figured this would be.
I like this guy better.
Well, that's why I think a lot of the people like him, because he can talk. First of all, he can actually talk, and he has something to promote. And third, I mean, I think obviously you just met him.
I mean, hey, look, I'll say this: meeting this man was an honor. All right, I'll pay my respects. Dude show up. He was very polite. Shook my hand instantly. He's like, "What up, bub?"
How did that handshake feel?
That little country slang is what I call it.
How did the handshake feel? I want to know, how big was that hand?
I mean, he's got a decent sized hand. I'll say that. Like, I mean, I got a big ass hand too. His is just fatter. It's like he got fat hands.
He's actually right here in front of him. I don't know if you want to call his hand fatter. Could you say it's larger?
I got a pill right here.
I thought society was a lot more politically correct these days, so we could say larger.
Hey, listen, I got a cap. All right.
Good point. We had a lot of people here at Summer Bash. But, Anthony, I was listening to Big Man Cam talk about this foundation thing. And do you agree on some of the things Big Man Cam was talking about?
It kind of cut out on my screen. So what's your opinion on the foundation? Because I can't speak on Summer Bash yet. You know this. And Cam, you were there. You saw what happened. You know why I want to talk so much on the foundation right now.
Yes, I do. I don't understand, Steele.
So do you think by next week we can talk about Summer Bash? If somebody out there, do you
100%.
think by next week that we'll be able to talk about this?
Yes, this is something we're going to have to talk about at a later time.
Hey, look, there's my big ass right there. Bow.
And there's me.
Yes, sir.
Was there anybody that you guys met that, I know I asked Big Man Cam the question, but I'll ask you, Anthony, as we're waiting for one more guest here to come on for a few minutes. He's got something to say, so I'm going to let him come on to the floor. No, it's actually not who you think. Well, it might be who you think, but not quite who you think. But, for you, Anthony, was there anybody you met that you were like really surprised or really like, wow, I didn't think they were like that, and I was really glad I met them?
Actually, Soldier's mom.
Okay, wow, okay.
Soldier's mom, I swear to God, is probably one of the most invested wrestling fans I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it's so cool.
I can agree with that.
And it's like she's so nice, but when she's in wrestling mode, oh dude, I swear to God, I wish that was my mom. I say that, but nah, she was amazing. I remember, I can't remember his name, Cam.
Mm.
I'm trying to think, dude with the glasses, RCW champion.
Oh, that would be King Josiah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I was like, this is what Aaron Blaze is gonna look like when he grows up. It looks
Not
just
so-
he
that's not-
looks like a taller version of Aaron Blaze. I'm not even
But
gonna count.
speaking of people that have had their issues with the
Let's
foundation,
fucking go! Yeah. This dude, I ain't seen in so fucking long. And dude, it's like we never missed a beat.
well, how you guys doing tonight? Obviously, 3 men that probably want to talk about Summer Bash, but I can't talk about it because I haven't seen the show, so I know nothing about it. I literally know nothing about Summer Bash.
It's ironic that it's us 3, and that this would be here with us.
Oh, now,
right,
would you
boys?
mind? Now, I have to
You
take
right.
this off the screen for no. I'm going to take this off the screen because I'm blind, apparently. Thank you, Remy, for showing us. I appreciate the video, Remy. Big shout out to you. But you might want to show what you have in the screen. Or is that maybe, I don't know. Well, I think I know what that is. Is that what I think it is? Is that the PWF World Heavyweight Championship?
That is the PWF World Heavyweight Champion.
So that means that you're going to get an induction to be a 4-time Sportzwire Radio Hall of Famer very soon, huh?
That's right. Anthony Steele, Big Man Cam, you were here. You heard it first.
Maybe these gentlemen might want to pop in and obviously extend their congratulations when we do the show, probably in the next week or 2. I have to find the date.
Hey,
so
I'll do my congratulations right now to my fellow Real Deal member, Justin Parsley, being
Wait,
the
Real
inaugural
Deal?
PWF.
You guys have a stable now?
We're the Real Deals. What are you talking about?
Oh, right.
Forever and always the Real Deals. We keep it 100 every place, everywhere we go, every day of our lives.
Big Man Cam a part of that group.
No.
Why not? Wait.
You'll figure out why when you watch the Rumble.
Okay, well, I haven't watched it, so I know nothing about this. I know absolutely nothing about it.
But look,
big day for you, Justin. You're the inaugural PWF champion. They always remember the first champion, and congratulations. And you and Big Man Cam champions, boy, and we are the champions. And Anthony's technically also a champion because he never lost. So does that mean that Big Man Cam and Anthony are co-New Age champions, or I can't recognize?
Yeah, man, I never lost that title.
Well, I'm sorry. I got it now.
Hey, look, I'm the longest reigning New Age champion. How about that?
How long was your reign?
It's still going. I've never lost it. And I think what was it, like 2 years ago that I won that title, Parsley?
Something like that.
Like, it's been almost 2 years. No, it's actually been over 2 years. So yeah, I've been on 2 years. Beat that, Cam. Beat that.
And
2
then
years.
Bacon beat him for it.
I'm gonna.
Like,
That's my goal now. I gotta hold it for 2 years.
Now, if I were to bring somebody else on here that's going to completely throw people off the cuff, can I bring this individual on?
Sure.
I think two of the 3 of you are going to probably say thumbs up. One of you is going to be like, uh-oh.
don't tell me it's who I think it is.
Well, you're going to have
Was he in the comments?
I wouldn't be able to confirm or deny, but he's asked for a link, and I have given him a link because I think Justin, no comment. I'm saying nothing, and we lost Justin there. Justin's lost. Justin's lost in translation. Oh, there you go. Two of you will obviously, I think, will probably have shared a locker room with this individual very recently. Two of you here. I guess we're waiting for this individual here, but are you there, Justin? Are you all right, Justin?
I'm fine.
Are you fine now? Are you running from Soldier?
Yeah, I've been fine.
Soldier must be feeling pretty bad that you have that championship there, huh?
I don't know. He hasn't called to congratulate me yet.
Wait a minute. Why hadn't he called and congratulated you?
I don't know. He could have done it there at the show even. Nothing.
Well, he didn't.
He actually handed the title to me, but you'll see that too.
I haven't.
Always
I know
time.
nothing about this.
I know it's coming.
When and when are we getting this, and where can we find this? I'd love to know. Let me get to some comments here. Also, Soldier says that potato salad was fire.
Swear to God.
So thank you for letting us know about the potato salad. I know nothing about potato salad, so thank you for that. Justin Parsley, shout out, unbelievable. Zilla here. Zilla is the usual bot. Zilla congratulated you. So obviously, we'll see if this individual comes on or not. But actually, I think I have the individual here. Should I bring the individual on? I think. Are you sure? It's your final answer. Well, he's here. I'm going to bring him on. It doesn't matter. We're joined by the former EBW champion, Mr. Jackson, or Captain Law. It's spelled wrong. How you doing there, my friend? How you doing?
I am doing. Oh, I've been better. Honestly,
I'm sorry about the
better.
beatdown on TV today. I watched the whole show. Sorry about that.
Been better, but I'm here. I'm alive. I got my bell rung a little bit, but I'm alive.
All right. Well, what brings you here tonight?
I just want to say hi to everybody. Hey, what's up?
Nice to see you.
Celebrate Cam winning winning a title, getting 2 titles. You know, he got 2 belts now. You got Justin. There you go.
What I really want to know is those sirens. Will we expect to hear more of those sirens coming up on future XCW shows?
Me and my brothers in blue, I can't control when they're doing
brought up in the telecast
job,
about that. That's I don't want to know anything else. And I think I brought up at the beginning of the show the sirens there, but it was what it was.
What's that belt on your shoulder there, Justin? Mr. Sleazy.
That is the PWF World Heavyweight Championship. Do you like her?
The Pride Wrestling Federation, right? PWF. The same PWF that I got screwed out of the championship for.
That was the company. Yes, that was the previous incarnation. That was the incarnation that was.
So, do you think that you still want a shot at the PWF title? I mean, this is a brand new title. No one besides Justin Parsley, but. That you were treated so poorly last time, are you trying to say that a shot at this title would compensate and make up for?
Oh, I mean, I did beat Cerberus for a future title shot. See, I still never got the title shot I earned in that match. It is what it is. It was what it was. Can't fight back, can't stand up. It's a stupid joke from a stupid song.
Well, it looks like we might have another individual joining us here, and there's somebody else. Yeah, this is getting interesting. Godzilla says, "What's up?"
Is that in God mode?
That's a good question. Zilla, Godzilla, are they related? Is Godzilla Zilla's father?
Yes. I'm Zilla's favorite wrestler for the moment.
Okay, does Zilla just copy and paste their
Zilla, I think the big question is Zilla's been like the thing the last 3 months on the show. It's been kind of like, who is Zilla? And Zilla just comments on like everything. So, that's it is what it is. But I guess we'll find out also. And also, Zilla wants to give thumbs up for this person who's about to come on the show. Well, you're good. It's going to get interesting when this person comes on. But, so what else would you like to say, Mr. Law?
I just wanted to come and say what's up. I ain't been on in a minute. Haven't.
I know. Actually, I know you want to come back on the show, and I will bring you back on. Actually, I was having a conversation with somebody here, and he actually said it'd be a good idea, and we'll bring you back on. You have a lot to talk about.
We'll set a date, set a time. You know how it is.
Absolutely, I'll definitely bring you on.
As it stands right now, I've got nothing but time. So
okay, so maybe we can do something in the next week or two. How does that sound? That sound good?
Kind of out with an injury, so ain't got nothing.
I wasn't going to put that out there on the screen, but okay, we could definitely do that. Sure.
That's why I didn't.
I'll give you that title shot this Saturday, then, Law. This Saturday, one time only, me and you.
You want to take that big boot right now? Because like it's reinforced. That might knock you out.
What if I catch it for an ankle lock, though?
Yeesh. Ankle wouldn't bend right.
Actually, I got one question for you, Justin. One question. So we saw what happened there with your, I guess now former tag team partner. But how's he doing? You think? Do you have any concern about him, or just you left him hanging high and dry there? You just
I got an itch that he's
No comment.
He's not doing too well right
So
now.
he's really not doing well.
Between the beatdown that the foundation gave us on the way to Ohio, and then me leaving his ass that way in the ring, I just don't think Rob's.
It's getting more interesting.
If you stop being a sleaze bag with every ring rat that shows up, you won't have to worry about itches.
Well, I thought that was would be more a Def Leppard concert, but then again, XCW, anything is possible. And we're joined here by, I thought his name was Soldier. I thought you were Soldier.
No, he's
hello.
Hey. I love you.
Is that the Lorax?
He speaks for the trees.
Hello. How are you?
Does he not know he's on?
Yes, no.
I know I'm on. I'm just listening to people.
Oh, okay.
He's shaking his head.
I like to let people run their mouth. Just let them see how much full of shit they are. So go ahead.
Which one of us is full of shit?
Is it me?
Well, Wall thinking
this one was the only one mentioning.
Wall thinking that he can come and he's on the level of the foundation. That's full of shit.
Oh, you mean
Big man Cam.
As a tag team? Me and Cam as a tag team could totally take the foundation.
I don't think you can.
The big meaty men.
They're not even talking about
I
it.
still don't see it.
I don't think we can either. I know we can.
Yeah.
See, you are okay. So we're talking about Summer Bash. You fought a foundation member at Summer Bash, didn't you? Big man Cam. You fought a foundation member at Summer Bash, did you not? You fought a foundation member, and you didn't win.
And either if we're referencing,
well, we don't know what the footage is. It hasn't been released. We have no idea. I have no idea.
I know what the footage is because I seen it live.
Oh, you saw it live, so you got a chance.
So I saw it live. So you might have beat a foundation member to take that XCW Crappy Championship Wrestling belt, but at Summer Bash, you didn't win.
I didn't realize Crappy was spelled with an X.
yeah, that didn't make it.
That doesn't track. You said XCW Crappy Championship Wrestling. I didn't realize Crappy was spelled with an X. Sorry, continue.
Come on, GP. I love you. GP.
I'm just saying I'm listening. And then, like, I'm gonna let everybody know after summer when you all see Summer Bash, the foundation's only gonna be stronger.
You guys bringing in your 37th member?
I mean, we only have 10 members. We take the best of the best. Why do you think we didn't ask you to join?
It's okay. I'm already in a faction. It is what it is.
Well, we didn't ask your ass either. We took Jay Ellis over you.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Former big man Cam coming your way, GP. And I still love you, GP. I love GP.
I welcome you. Show up in IMF. Because I'll send your ass packing just like I did Parsley last show.
Well, you got gold Parsley on your shoulder there. You got some gold.
Parsley got some gold.
Hey, Parsley. I just got one thing to say. When people watch Summer Bash, they're gonna know what's up.
They are.
Hey, listen.
That's real.
He said he's letting people talk their shit, right? Let him talk his shit, and then let people watch.
Well, hopefully, it's going to be released soon, so we can actually watch the footage.
I'm looking forward to watching it back.
Me too. I'm hoping to watch it. But yeah, it'll be great.
The vlog seemed rather entertaining, so I'm actually excited to see the footage myself.
Yeah, Remy did a great job. Shout out to Remy for allowing us to use the footage. I actually am very happy we got a chance to see some of that there, and
I will say this: Parsley, Cam, Soldier. I know one out of the three of us we don't see eye to eye. And definitely I see eye to eye with Mr. Parsley, because you know what it is, man. But the one thing I can say that we all can say, but one of us is, it felt great to be, invited and to be a part of Summer Bash, because four out of five of us was invited, so it was a great experience, Yeah,
a dozen plus companies being there. I think that speaks volumes to what
I think the only way people that don't know how to wrestle can show up to Summer Bash anymore is if they're giving actual wrestlers rides. but that's beside the point. If you know, you know.
I think that what the event did was I think it's only going to get bigger. Next year we'll have instead of 13 companies, 14 companies.
We're gonna have 26.
I was going to say the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know because look, we threw invitations out to all those companies that didn't show up, and then they kind of like look down upon it. Now that they've seen that it can work, why would we want that toxic shit over at Summer Bash? They didn't want to come the first time.
I would add that there are smaller companies that maybe didn't get a chance to maybe see what you guys did, and they see it, and maybe they would like to come, leaving aside the certain suspects. But I think that smaller companies that might come here and they got a chance to watch it, because over time there's always companies that start out, they might want to give it a shot. I think that's where you could look at and say that's a positive. There'll always be those out there that start and they watch you guys. I think those are the things you could take away from it. The usual suspects, there's nothing you can do about it. But I think that the companies here you built a core with, and some of the newer, more rising companies that become established, they might want to be a part of it. PWF Mid-South would be an example of a company starting out, and they might want to take notice. Like that, Christian Taylor's doing a great job with that. That's an example of one company.
I've worked with Tristan firsthand, and he's genuinely like one of the most dedicated people when it comes to.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I speak to him
trying
very
to get
regularly.
his stuff up and running.
Yeah, and he's a third generation guy. His grandfather was a wrestler. His dad was a wrestler. He's a wrestler. So they're
I was actually the one that brought Tristan back into wrestling, and me found UWA and started wrestling for UWA, and then wrestled for CBW for a little bit. So I love Tristan.
Gary, I guess
one of my favorite Tennessee guys.
I guess we can extend the offer to CBW for next year.
I mean, I was invited at one point this year. But.
He was there, Big Man Cam. He was one of the companies I mentioned. He's their champion. He was a part of it.
Should have taken the belt.
I will say it was an enjoyment watching Big Man Cam slap around Freddie Daniels a little bit. It was an enjoyment. It was an enjoyment seeing him slap around Freddie Daniels.
I think it was an enjoyment for all the people that slapped around Freddie Daniels.
Steele really hit him with the claymore, kicked him dead in his face.
Dude. Side note. Again, I'm gonna say this publicly. I'm so sorry, Freddie, that I really just kicked the fuck out of your face. Dude,
what did he say? Oh, that was all right, man. It made good TV. It made good TV.
Literally,
when it comes out, will it make good TV when it comes out?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
We're gonna start releasing stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start releasing what we have. We'll start. A lot of stuff is film done. We just wanted to set it up where we can release it all at the same time, but all different in sections. We have one person working on it. Sean Jovi is doing a great job from editing it, and getting it ready, and we're day one. There's five videos ready to go out.
I'll definitely give them a mention. I'm on the air tomorrow, first in the afternoon. I'm on with Anthony Arias. Probably heard the name Anthony Arias of the Backyard Wrestling Nexus.
Who?
Anthony
Arias. I don't even know who that is. The only Anthony I know in the backyard is right there.
Anthony Arias is the name some people.
Bang bang.
The same.
Anthony Arias is here, 4:00 Eastern time. He'll be here, and I'll mention it then. And then this other guy who I'm sure most people have heard of, named Jimmy Controversy. He'll be here at 9.
Never heard of him.
Good people right there. That's good people right there.
Anthony Arias?
No.
No.
So, but no, Tom.
I knew I was walking. The Anthony Arias, I knew I was walking into that one, but I like
so,
Anthony.
All jokes aside, I don't think Summer Bash, what we had that showed up and everybody that showed up from every different company, I don't think it could have went any better. Even if there more people showed up, I don't think it could have went any better. It went great. The matches, except for the first match of the show of the Summer Bash, everything else went off without a hitch. It was great. And
that match doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, And with certain companies, like they like to they used to talk shit about Steel. Steel jumped in when we needed a ref. He jumped in when we needed another person to take over something. Like Steel did a great job over the week. Like he jumped in where we needed him to jump in, and he didn't complain. He just threw the ref shirt on, and he was in there, and he actually did a lot better than
special
most
guest
refs
ref
I've seen.
2024. Special guest ref
And I
2024
got one
right
name
here.
that wishes he could have
Hall of
been there,
Fame.
but unfortunately he had some certain things with traveling and other things. Aaron Blaze wishes he could have been there, but maybe next year. Aaron Blaze, maybe next year at Summer
But
Bash.
Tom, so
Yes,
I got to talk about the funny moment at Summer Bash.
yes.
So we're doing a part. I'm not gonna say what match it was, but we're doing a part. And Freddie is about to. Freddie's getting up, right? He's telling up.
Oh my God! Here it comes. Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody knows how I do my Claymore. I give everybody the option. Do you want to take it on the indies, how I do it on the indies, or do you want to take a backyard Claymore? And Freddie was like, let's do the backyard. And so we get to the part, and instead of staying in place, he moves his head in the direction of where I'm supposed to land and gets a size 13 Air Force One straight to the fucking face.
Oh my God!
Like I mean, literally, my whole foot covered his face.
I don't even think it didn't even bust him open, did it?
No, it literally.
No, he
I
got
mean,
the thick
I hit his face and he went down. I mean, he fucking.
Yeah,
boom.
the back of his head went for his head. Like he kicked his head off his fucking shoulders.
Dude, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. Like
Is he
I
okay right now? Is he all right? Is he alive?
He got up like no, it was all right. He went in and got squashed again a couple more times. Type shit.
He looked at me and he goes,
And see,
Dude.
that's the thing. Sometimes those real stiff shots like that just look fucking great on camera.
But see, here's the thing. Like, I looked at him afterwards. I was like, you good? Are you okay? I apologize. He, as Soldier said, he was like, dude, it makes for great TV. And I was like, I know, but like,
it makes for great TV.
Yeah, I was like, but is your face okay? Like, I'm fucking 277 pounds of force just went straight to your face, like in air. There was no stopping this. Like, I was already mid jump, and he looked at me. He goes, "I'll say this. I'll take it again." And I was like, "All right, I guess." But like that.
Well, maybe he'll run it back next year, and he'll be back there. Who knows? I mean,
Hey, Freddie, if you're watching, Anthony Steele versus Freddie Daniels, 2025 Summer
and maybe maybe Summer Bash 3 next year could be a week-long event instead of a weekend. It could be week-long. Who knows? I mean, WrestleMania is a week-long event, practically.
That's a lot of people for a week.
I was gonna say that's a lot of people for a lot of days.
Well, they do WrestleMania. Listen, WrestleMania is a week.
Hey, we were there. A lot of us were there from like Thursday on.
Yeah, dude.
I remember Wednesday I was beating up Parsley, and then we drove off on Thursday. So it's like Thursday on, we were around each other. Steel was there, the Flame, Gold Dragon, the WCE guys. Like we were around each other the whole time.
I did hear something, Gary. I'm gonna go by your real name for right now. I heard Omen is pulling out of the what do y'all fucking call it? The slide champ.
Oh, that was on Jovi's vlog. Yes, Jovi's vlog played
I don't know. I don't know.
I heard he's pulling out next year.
Hey, I gotta ask, Big Man Cam, did you go into the slide? Did Big Man Cam go into that slide?
Big Man Cam's afraid of water.
Really?
That explains.
Big Man Cam's afraid of water. He's afraid to get water in his ear.
Well, I gotta be honest. I'm the same way. I always wear earplugs. I couldn't agree with him more. I had a major problem in the past with my ear.
The funniest thing that happened the whole night or the whole thing with Big Man Cam wasn't even the chairs. It was the fact that mosquito landed on his arm and he let out a fucking high pitched squeal like he ain't hit puberty yet.
No, this
The
is not.
wild
Big Man Cam,
hunted
I have to
thrill
see the
he
footage.
let
That's
out
it.
because that
I got
mosquito
you, Big
landed on
Man
his
Cam.
fucking
I
arm.
don't believe it,
He
Big
was like,
Man.
"Son of a bitch!"
No, he does. He hates bugs.
I
He
would say
fucking
no.
hates bugs.
No, if you want to talk about a good Big Man Cam moment, I'm gonna say what happened, but not actually what happened. Big Man,
Oh, no.
you in chains. You in chains. You in chains, dude. I swear to God, I've never broke character so fast in my life.
Were you the ref for that? You were the ref for that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was the ref for that match.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, and I think Parsley at that point just left, like a little bit before that. And I was like, dude, if I would have told Parsley what he said, Parsley, you would have died. You would have.
He was trying to break us that battle royal too.
Oh,
Behind the scenes,
You
Big
can't
Man
talk
Cam's
about
one of the
it.
funniest
Yeah.
fucking dudes ever. Like, funniest dudes. The shit he be saying when he's commentating, funny as shit.
Talk about something that's not out to the public. In fact, I'm not even sure why you're here as the PWF champion.
Well, I mean, if you've seen the pictures posted, you would
did.
have already seen that he held the
Yeah, I
belt.
did
So
see the picture, but I mean, we don't know how it got there. But obviously, we're having a lot of fun here. But before we move on to closing thoughts, is anything else that you guys want to share before we sign off for the evening?
Yeah. There's, I wanna thank-
can anyone else hear him?
I can't
Someone
hear him.
started watching South Park in the background or
Dude,
something.
literally, I was like, I can't hear shit. I can see his lips moving.
Keeps
Hello.
cussing.
Now I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to say that I had a lot of fun there. Everybody individually that I think great character. Not that you were definitely in.
Kids, this is when you have slow Wi-Fi. This is what happens. Unfortunately, Big Man Cam. It
wasn't even his Wi-Fi. Wherever he positioned his phone, every other word will like come
Been here
through.
for 2 hours. The rest of you guys have only been here a few minutes. Give him a break. I have to say, Big Man Cam,
Hey.
I got you. I know what the point
Do
is.
you want me to send you a microphone?
But
I will handle it. Big Man Cam, I'm going to send you a cameo request. Don't you worry. I'm going to make sure I send that cameo for you. Because I'm going to send that cameo for you after we're off the air. I can't wait for Big Man Cam to do my cameo. Thank you so much, Big Man Cam. You hang on
Is your
there.
cameo going to be every other word too? Because that would be genuinely hilarious.
You know what? You just never know. You might have by the time you come back on, Mr. Law, you'll have to find out.
I can't.
Fucking up there sounding like a Pac-Man sound.
I had another thing to say.
The guy, yes, Mr. Cam.
Oh my.
I think he's fucking with us at this point.
I think he is fucking with us now.
No, he's got bad. No, he's really had bad Wi-Fi the whole night. Go ahead.
My favorite moment. Did you guys get that
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
First
I
full
got
sentence
you.
you've had in the last 5 minutes.
moment? At Bash, and Anthony Steele was kind of an ass on this one. A certain person ran.
Wait, what?
Here.
I think the rant.
Big Man Cam.
Welcome to Sportzwire Charades, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
Officially
One of my favorite moments is when Theo was scaring the fuck out of Omen with the frogs. That shit was hilarious.
What I was gonna say is officially now they call this the witching hours. This is officially now the witching hours on Sportswire.
Is Omen fucking scared of frogs?
Omen is deathly afraid of frogs, and one was on the pool, and I literally pushed it into the pool, and it started swimming towards him. And that's the first
And he
time
was
I
like,
ever
"No, I'm
seen a
out."
man run. He goes, I'm fucking out, and try to run in the fucking
All I
pool.
have to so all I have to do tomorrow when Jimmy Controversy is here is just hit Omen Black with the frog, and Jimmy Controversy will just make short work of Omen. Then right tomorrow, that's what I have to do.
Oh, dude.
No comment. No comment.
I told Omen if he makes it into the ladder match, I'm putting a frog at the top of the ladder.
Well, that's your answer. Anything else, Mr. Cam? Because I'm having a lot of troubles hearing you.
Speaking of controversy, I would definitely love to work with that guy someday. Every time
Well, talk to him tomorrow. He's here at 9:00, so you better be here. And Jimmy's a kind of one of these guys who has like ADD and ADHD. So like if you want to say something, you have to like literally like be here and comment because he's not going to be here long. He's going to be here probably, knowing him, 60 to 75 minutes. So we're not going to have him a long time. So if anybody here wants to talk to Jimmy Controversy, you better be here right on time and get him with as many comments. Because otherwise, he's one of these guys that when he's here, you've only got a certain amount of time with him. So I'm just letting you know right now.
when I had COVID, I got bored and watched.
I'll certainly let him know. I'm struggling here, and I want to close the show soon. Anything else you guys want to share before?
Plug your phone from the potato to talk to us.
Hey Cam, I thought I'd let you know that I can't. It was great.
What a dick.
You're very welcome. I think he signed off because obviously he honestly struggled to the finish line there. But anything else you guys want to share before we move on? Anything else you guys want to say?
I got something to say, and I think I can say it on behalf of 3 of the 4 guys here. Everyone that came out to Summer Bash, thank y'all so much for making it an amazing weekend. I made it to where we can now prove that with all the stuff that goes on, all the politics and everything in backyard and underground and indie wrestling, that we all can make one big show work, succeed, and we all can collaborate and just forget about whatever is going on in the world. Like out inside that ring, we had great matches. Outside that ring, we had great, people just collaborating together and creating a memorable moment for each and everybody
look at
there.
what it's inspired now. I mean, your roommate is now going to Massachusetts. The All Wrestling Matters hardcore.
I don't give a fuck about my roommate.
But your roommate's he's going to collaborate. And how about Kato? Kato's now going there.
Oh, I love Kato. The guy that whooped my roommate's ass. I love Kato.
But your roommate's going to Massachusetts. He's going to Worcester because of, in many ways, I could say that Summer Bash played a role in that.
We got some big plans in the making right now for Summer Bash 2025. Some big plans, guys.
Do you think Craven Rage will be at the center of them by any chance?
I will say there may or may not be a certain type of new cup that people can win.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of some different things, but I want to say no comment. I've heard a couple different things out there. I don't want to say anything, but can we confirm if Craven Rage is going to be in the center of Summer Bash 3? Because I think everybody's wanting to know the burning question of Craven Rage. Will he be at the center of Summer Bash 3?
I'd rather have Jackson Law there.
Well, he's right here now.
To be fair, I really did want to come because I was invited originally, and then I was pulled out of the group chat, and then I was invited to ride along. But between the injury and I had a family function that day, nothing lined
It's all right. It's all right, Jasmine. We got you. So we I will say I got a question for somebody here.
Which one of us?
Hey, Parsley.
Yeah.
What are you doing in December? You have anything planned
with his family? He's spending
I
time
got a
with
few
his
things
family.
going on in December. Why? What do you got?
Because I'm looking to make my way to Iowa in December.
You are?
And
Yeah, you can
with what transpired at Summer Bash, I think it's time that since your partner fell off, that I show you what a true partner looks like.
You do?
And we handle some business, if you know what I mean.
In Iowa?
He's
In
got
Halo,
Felix.
Iowa?
No, he's got Felix. He's helping.
Palo, not Paulo. Halo.
Halo.
Get
Halo
it right,
community
Parsley.
center.
Not
He's got
Palo.
Felix. He's
Halo.
helping now. He's
It's
got
Halo, Paprika.
Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot to shout out one dude that I met at Summer Bash that was like one of the chillest guys I've ever met. Il Drago. I love you, my guy. I love you, my guy. It was great fucking meeting
He's
you.
awesome. Il Drago is always on
Dude.
TikTok. He's always messaging me. Love that
Drago
guy.
is one of the best people to ever meet. I swear to God, that dude
He's
is so
better than
full of
Ivan
energy.
Drago.
Like he's so full of energy.
Good dude.
He cares about this business more than a lot of people that I've ever met. And literally, I feel like he's one of the type of guys that would give his shirt off his back just to help somebody out, especially in the art of professional wrestling. And hearing this story, I kind of like can relate a little bit to the story.
I can probably say that about everybody that showed up for Summer Bash. Actually, that we all sat down, we all got along out behind cameras and all that stuff. So I feel like any of us that was at Summer Bash that got that was chilling would give their shirt off their back.
Absolutely, and I think that's why the event was so special and why it was so successful. And over there.
Soulja hates Parsley with a passion, but Gary and Parsley are really, really close behind cameras. So.
I know nothing about that. I only am concerned about Soulja GP and Justin Parsley. I know nothing about that stuff. We weren't there.
Curtain call.
We obviously are waiting for Craven Rage's long-awaited Sportswire Radio. Oh God! But
2 up, 4 down, baby. 2 up, 4 down.
Is there anything anybody else would like to share before we sign off, Mr. Law, Mr. Parsley? Anything else you guys want to share before we go?
I mean, since Cam can't talk, I'll put it out there for him. Cam and Jay Ellis aren't finished with one another. They got a little program going on over in CBW. Again, it was big congratulations winning the New Age title tonight.
Big win.
I got the shit beat out of me by a fucking behemoth.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Still don't know what, me getting my ass beat or him winning.
You getting your ass beat, well deserved.
Oh, but Venom, Venom's huge. I don't know how I didn't see him coming.
Well, you fought Venom?
No, I got my ass kicked by my cousin. Stiff as fuck, by the way. He hit that roll. I was talking about stiff shots earlier. He hit that fucking rolling elbow and clocked me square on the forehead. Like I had a goose egg right here for like 2 weeks.
Well,
talking about
that's your family too. What does that got to say?
That was another physical match too that you and Julian Boy Jacobs had. I mean, and this is unfortunately
talking about talk about giving shirts off people's back. Hey Parsley, you want to see what accidentally came home with me?
Let's see it.
He didn't accidentally. He stole that shit.
That's what I said. I told you fucking Steele had it.
Well, now I got to apologize to Kron because he told me you left another thing. So I've been talking to Kron. Have you found his shirt yet? We need to get it back to him.
It looked better.
I thought that was the
It looked better with my name on here instead of his.
Well, I did.
Well, you can fix that and just ship it to me.
I flopped on the design. That's my bad. That was me.
You got the Big Man Camp Tennessee whiskey shirt, which I'm going to be making sure I obviously pay special attention to. But yes,
what's the biggest size does that Big Man Cam come in?
5X.
Bird.
Okay.
Okay, I might have to pick me up a Big Man Cam.
If anybody in here buys a shirt, you'll own it before me.
Yeah, he doesn't buy his own shirts because he's just. But get a cameo from him. Get a cameo. Make sure you get a cameo.
He doesn't buy his own shirts, but he'll sure as shit go to Walmart and buy a shirt.
Hey, I will say this.
Walmart shirts Walmart shirts fit you?
I mean, that's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Walmart shirt. He's wearing.
I cut off shirts. I cut sleeves off.
Hey, listen.
Well, this one I bought
there's such thing as Walmart.com, big and tall. They got
I'm saying Walmart's around here. They only go up to 2XLs here in my town. So
they go up to 3, sometimes 4.
The shop goes if you order a classic T-shirt. I think it's classic. Classic goes up to 5X. Premium goes up to 3 or 4X.
Parsley gets those youth sizes. He's like a youth medium.
I was gonna say I've got everything.
Dude, his medium. He's a medium.
Well, is there anything else now that we're in the witching hours? Is there anything else anybody wants to share before we sign off for the evening?
Me.
Yes.
Hey, told you. Oh no. Should we talk about the ladder spot?
Which ladder spot?
I don't want to say his name because then it gives it away.
But you don't say his name.
I don't care. I'm controversial. Remember, it's all right. So you remember me and D'Angelo?
Yeah.
On the top of that ladder.
Yeah, where it almost killed you guys. Yeah,
dude. I'm sitting here All right, I'm gonna say something. It's just one part of the match. You're gonna see it, and you're gonna notice that it's a mess up, anyways.
And it doesn't like tell you the winning of the match
Yeah.
anyway. So.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you. It's like literally around the beginning-ish of the match. Me and D'Angelo are up on the top fighting, and originally we were gonna have Omen and Drake hold the ladder to where we could do the spot. Well, someone took both of them out right before the spot happens.
I wonder who that person is.
And so then we got Jovi. We got Jovi that's supposed to hold this ladder. And Jovi just looks at us and goes, huh? And when we go to do the spot, which is an RKO off the top of this fucking ladder, we go one way, the ladder goes the complete opposite way and cuts both of our transitions completely off. And I land face first, straight on the front of my face, dead center in the mat from 15 feet in the air. And dude, when I tell you,
I will say the tires though, a lot more comfy than fucking landing on an actual ring. I will point that out.
I will say this right now. I thought my nose was broken. I really thought my nose.
There's no give. If that makes sense.
Like, swear to God, like my nose hit that ring from 15 feet in the fucking air, and I was done. I was ready to be done.
This is what you're gonna get at Summer Bash, and obviously the footage is gonna be released. Some of it starting tomorrow, and we look forward to covering all of it here, and we'll have some of these guys back. Mr. Law himself, the former EBW champion, will be back here very soon, within the next week or so. Soldier and Anthony are going to be back. Obviously, IMF has another show coming up here next Thursday. All the guys are here. Big Man Cam is as big as Bigfoot. I'm sure he'll be here much more often. And Justin Parsley will be here, very soon as well, because I just mentioned his name. And I'm sure, like Joe Hendry, say his name, he'll appear. But different conversation for a different time. Fellas, it's a lot of fun. Big Man Cam, congratulations on all the success. Mr. Law, nice to see you, Soldier. And Anthony, I really don't know what happened in Summer Bash, so I can't say anything about
that. Them titles, hit my line.
No. I need to come back. I need to come back and face for the new age because I never lost.
Hit my line. I'll definitely come and wrestle.
And I'm agreeing with the Sport Entertainment guy. This was a great stream.
I love GP so
and
much.
I want to obviously thank everybody to tune in. I want to remind people again, one more time, 9 o'clock.
GP is a good thing.
Here. If you want to tune in the afternoon, Anthony Arias is in the house. I know everybody has opinions on the Nexus, but he is here.
Sleep. Just kidding. I'm gonna be at the gym.
I've owed him an appearance for a year. So Anthony Arias is going.
I'm the only Anthony that matters.
The battle of the two big men.
I'm the only Anthony that matters on Sportswire Radio. I'm the only.
That is definitely true, Anthony. You matter a lot more than Anthony Arias. But Anthony Arias is here, and
Can you say that again, please? I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt. Wise words from Tom Bryce. You damn sure made more than Anthony.
When it comes to wrestling, the only Anthony that matters is Anthony Steele.
Well, I mean, Anthony Steele matters a lot more than Anthony Arias, but Anthony Arias is going to be here.
You know what it is, man.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if we're going to be really shooting with the same. But I feel like the one that everybody's going to be here for is Jimmy Controversy. So if you want to work with Jimmy, you want to talk with him, you better be here in the chat, and you better flood him with comments, because otherwise, Jimmy, like I'm saying right now, has like ADD and ADHD. I've interviewed him 3 times. And I speak to him on a regular basis. I can tell you what he is, and you better be here and be ready for questions. Maybe he'll come to your show next, but you better ask him that on YouTube. Thank you,
Tom.
everybody. Yes, Anthony. My last point, because I want to get the show.
I just got one thing to say. You need to come to Iowa and try one thing in Iowa.
What is it?
Soldier's mom's potato salad, because that shit was fire.
I was telling everybody, nobody believed me. Nobody believed me until they got a plate of it, and next thing you know, it was gone because these guys.
No, I got a side, and then I got a plate.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Iowa's a lot of beautiful things. It's a great place to go. It's a great place to watch some wrestling. The IMF is a part of it. They're closing in on 2,000 subs. Hit the sub button for the guys. Summer Bash will be there on their page, along with DKW's page, and a lot more things are ahead coming up with the IMF. We have all the guys here next Thursday, a slew of regular faces, and I'm sure Anthony will pop in and other people. And I can't wait to see that as well. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And we were here with the double champion, Big Man Cam, who's the XCW New Age champion and the CBW World champion. We're joined by Justin Parsley, who was the PWF champion, but we didn't see the footage yet. The IMF champion, Soldier GP. I don't know anybody named Gary. Anthony Steele, who never lost the New Age title, but he's the real deal, and he's obviously going to maybe be Justin Parsley. And the man that runs CBW is the former EBW champion of the world. His name is Just Law, and we look forward to seeing these guys more often here on Sportswire. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. And until then, good morning.